Welcome back. You might be wondering why I'm streaming today. Well, a few partial reasons. Namely, I'm going to be cutting paper for a while, so I figured I might as well live stream it. In case, someone's coming by and chat. Secondly, however, it's just because I also couldn't stream last night, which I do apologize for. Namely, so what happened was my mother's finally back home, but she came back at 7:30 in the morning. And I wasn't told till like very late last night when she was coming back. I'm gonna need a pile for this paper actually. Yikes! I didn't consider that. Hello, Rockin' Alice. I'm gonna need to put this somewhere. Okay, now I lost space here. I'll throw it over here for now. Good. Got like no sleep last night, which is kind of ironic because that's the main reason I didn't stream with Kyle. But I decided to do things on his own, so to speak. Oh, I can actually save time here. I believe. Are these properly lined up? Yes, they are. Okay, so I can just do it like this. Yeah, nothing much. Just streaming in case no one's stopping by because I didn't stream last night. Had to go take care of a bunch of stuff today, so I'm just chillaxing now. It's a little close. How are things yourself? I don't know. So beyond that, because I wasn't able to sleep last night, I did get a little more work done on the Fist of the North Star guidebook a little bit there. So that was nice, ultimately. I did find a statement that supports an interpretation I held before, so that's very nice. That Blue Sky guidebook is something else. It's Japanese is some of the weirdest I've seen so far because even my translators are having some issues with it. Hello, Cypher. How are you doing? Gotta be careful with the edges here. Nice Kasumi statement, though, from the Rao guidebook of all places, ironically enough. Yeah, I'll have to trim this out later. Probably. I don't know the exact reasons of what's causing the issue. All I know is that the translations are a lot more rough than they were previously. Yeah, it's going to be a little awkward. I'll have to fix that up later. Why is it text like that? I'll have to... I'm going to put these under for now, just so that way they kind of straighten themselves out. This man really put a fucking... I didn't even notice this. He put a fucking accent on this. Are you serious, Newman? That's on me. Yeah, no. So the guidebooks are really nice so far. So it's very, very nice. Yeah. So again, just to clarify, I couldn't stream. I couldn't stream last night. So far, nothing yet that's too crazy. Just a statement confirming that Kasumi had mastered the inner workings of Hokuto Shinken prior to the events of Blue Sky, which supports the theory I mentioned earlier in the last stream about it that Kasumi did pass his knowledge on. Because Kasumi states he learned the Heaven's Impalement technique from Mong. But now that we have confirmation that Kasumi learned everything about Hokuto Shinken, with the exception of, like, Muso Tensei, prior to the events of the series, that confirms that Kasumi had to pass on his knowledge to Ryukin. So there's a good chance that Kasumi does in fact end up passing on his knowledge, which means that that helps the skill rating for the Hokuto brothers. I'll make sure this is like. But so far beyond that, nothing too crazy. Although I haven't had too much time to look at it. Kinda not. I'm not. I don't hate Kasumi as a character, but I think Kasumi gets winked way too often. So while I'm happy to provide the information to the community, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like if the information's there, I'll give it out, but like I would kind of like prefer not having to tell people. Like I prefer like not having to give them more Kasumi potential wink ammunition. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that up later. At the end of it is. So for now, I'm going to put this over here. For the time being. So it can straighten out a little bit before I go back to it. Yeah, but overall it's pretty solid. Yeah, is this the only one that's off center? Fucking is, are you serious? Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, no. I mean, it's good. It's good evidence. I'm still gonna have to go through the rest of it. More statements of Kenshiro being the strong successor of Hokuto Shinken, but also at the time of Rao, which is throws a few people for a loop because the general consensus that people have taken is that he becomes the strongest at the time where he fights Kaio, specifically because of the fact that if you argue he becomes, it's mainly people who like Kasumi who argue that, I think, because it's just like nicer to perceive an idea where Kasumi doesn't get beat by like Rao, I guess, for some reason. Oh, son of a gun. No, only 10 minutes so far, so a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. So yeah, no, overall, I'm sure to provide a lot of information. I have no doubt in my mind they'll be very beneficial. It's just that like with the Japanese on the Blue Sky one being as rough as it is, it's gonna be a little harder to work with. But I think as long as you have an approximate knowledge of the series, I don't think it'll be too difficult to work with. I saw that I saw that lady trailer for the Pinnacle of Combat game. I saw it today while I was out and about. I find it kind of funny that that they're basically going for a more DMC4 inspired lady. It seems. I suspect that's more to move mobile game, sales and the like, because I believe the current version of the game is significantly more gacha based in nature. Her abilities seem kind of cool. I like the whole ice mechanic they're giving her. Son of a gun. I wonder if that's every character's gonna have two weapons, or if maybe like every character's gonna have a default base weapon and they're gonna get a secondary weapon in each version. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, not streaming though at least gave Kyle time to work on his own projects, so that's good. Hello, Gun. You're new here. A lot of new faces recently. Probably gonna have two weapons and a secondary. No, I think it'll just be. Hello, Air. How you doing? Right. That's funny. That's funny. I actually remembered you the first time. Sorry, I'm only on like 3 hours of sleep because my fucking brother decided to interfere with my sleep cycle this morning. I had to like wake up super early. No, so like the main reason I didn't stream is so I could get some sleep, but the problem is I didn't even get sleep. I ended up going to sleep at a normal time, which is like fucking ridiculous. Nice. Fuck me, that's tedious work. I'll move these to the side for now. They're getting in my way. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, but like I had to go driving all over the place. Alright. Ones. How many more do I have to get through? I think I'm still several sheets away. Yeah, no. So I'm gonna have to translate those guidebooks first before I go into my why I think part 2 isn't stronger than part 1 Fist of the North Star video. So I'm probably gonna dedicate a few hours a day to translating those guidebooks to some workable degree. I won't post all the translations online or all the translations on the server. I'll only be posting the relevant ones, the ones that I think are going to be relevant for scaling purposes. Maybe some cool lore ones here and there. However, I will do Blue Sky first, just because it's the one I think everyone's kind of like anticipating. because that's the one we have no idea what's going to be on there. But I think that route one might be spicier for power scaling as a whole for Fist of the North Star. Because it already has a statement in there that changes a current scaling meta on Fist of the North Star scaling, which I haven't told anyone about yet, because if I do, it'll probably come off as it'll probably come off as boosters. The comments in the latest trailer made me laugh, bro. Everyone thinks she's just a regular woman. Yeah, I noticed that to some extent. I noticed that on the Reddit. There we go. Fuck, man, that's a lot of paper. Journey of 1,000 steps and all that. And at any rate, so I'm just curious if the timeline will tell us when he fought Falco. Since I haven't seen it anywhere else, I don't think it will. And the Falco statements are only really, I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not very good either. They do say Falco's equal to Kenshiro during this fight, but like, I mean, I kind of like, disagree with that a little bit. I think the main series disagrees with that a little bit. Although you could argue equal in the context of like equal when Kenshiro's nerfed himself. Although he was able to keep up with Kenshiro prior to Kenshiro nerfing himself. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there on that situation. I'd be buying a little too close on that one. Relative? I think the route you end up going with Fist of North Star is that they're just is that most fires just relative to each other. Even if you believe like there are characters who are stronger, there's no evidence of astronomical differences in ability, which is something I think a lot of scalers kind of overlook. They just hear like characters stronger and think that like, oh, instant one shot. How many more do I have to get through? 2. Wait, what? Oh, there better be another page stuck here. Oh, there is. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, no sense thinking about it. Just need to get it done. Yeah, no, so I think what I might do is I might post reviews of certain sections on YouTube for the guidebooks. Once I finish a section, translate and everything, I'll take screenshots of what I consider to be the most relevant information or just some cool information. I'll just talk about each section of the guidebook. Because coincidentally, the Blue Sky guidebook is broken up into like 3 different parts. And the parts they're broken up into are basically... I just thought about your mama joke would sound too much when I had a second thought. Wow. Son of a gun. Yeah, there's nothing really going on in this stream. I saw a lot of people showed up, but just me cutting some paper and just chilling out. Not gonna get too crazy with these cuts later. For that, I'll get stuff later on. Do that. Yeah, no. So haven't had time to translate too much yet, except I did translate a few more pieces of text, but nothing too crazy has popped up besides the Kasumi statement. So hopefully we'll be getting some more spicier stuff in the future. But we'll see. I think best case scenario for like the guidebook's just gonna be some like interesting lore tidbits. Personally, I think that's the best case scenario. The other side video is fun. I heard there's a new anime for DMC coming. There's been one announced for a while, but that guy's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. So if that's still going on, I don't even know what to say. I mean, he made Castlevania's freaking or anime, which Castlevania's anime is very well received. That's probably it's about manga DMC3. Or are you talking about the Netflix guy who said like fucking like I think 4 years ago now that he was gonna do it? I'm not too familiar with Castlevania's lore, but I do have to clarify that when you're doing adaptations, especially for an adaptation as loose as Castlevania, you are going to run into a trouble where that will occur. So it only makes sense to me that he would retcon some characters. Damn it. Gets into that a little bit. They changed some of them entirely. Did they? I don't know anything about Castlevania's lore. The most I know about Castlevania's lore is that like Ryan on occasion will say something about it, and that's about it. I know like Dracula's supposed to be some like super crazy haxy character, but beyond that, I don't know much about the actual quote unquote like the actual lore. Mozzie, you're new here. Favorite Demon Slayer character? I don't watch Demon Slayer too frequently, but if I had to say, probably the Water Hashira. Holy shit, we're almost done. Fuck me. Okay. Also, Lamazi, you're new here. Yeah, no. I was never into Castlevania's gameplay loop, so I never bothered. Although I hear it is well praised throughout the gaming community. Like, I believe it's Symphony of the Nights. I think it's Symphony of the Night has the reverse castle. Where, like, once you beat the game 50% of the way through, in order to 100% it, you have to replay the entire, like, castle under a different, under, like, a different setup. I believe that's Symphony of the Night. I really should pick up Demon Slayer. I don't hate it as a series. In fact, I like it better than the more recent stories that come out from manga nowadays. Because like I much prefer Demon Slayer to like some My Hero Academia personally. I think Demon Slayer is just more enjoyable. Better cast of characters. Although Tanjiro does fall into that sort of old-fashioned shonen character, so I think that's why I like him better than someone like, say, Deku. I completely forgot to put down there. Deep Dark Fantasies. No, because like I'm not a fan of Ashta. Deku as a character I think is fine, but I'm not a big fan of him either. But like at least in Demon Slayer, Tanjiro just seems like a just not annoying protagonist from what I've seen. And I think I watched most of. I know how the story goes. I know the characters. I just don't watch it too frequently. I probably should pick up the manga and like actually finish the series. So I'm not gonna keep up with the anime. The anime, though, is obviously fantastic animation. They really outdo themselves with those fights. Although I think they rely a little too heavily on the fight animations nowadays, but, like, that's kind of their only real saving grace. Demon Slayer story is not a magnum opus. Not terrible, but not like really noteworthy beyond a few core moments. And also character designs. They have some really solid character designs. Very eye popping, nice stuff. Yeah, because I think the only anime movie I've gone to go watch has been Mugen Train, which Mugen Train was fucking a treat. If you saw Mugen Train in theaters, you were treated to a very fucking nice production. The animation was stellar. The sounds were stellar. I actually find that sounds a little funny because of I saw One Piece fans complaining about the recent One Piece episode because the sound effects they use for stuff is really outdated. So you have like this great animation and you have these really interesting sound effect choices. Like when Law throws out a bunch of rocks through his finger, it sounds like Energy Blast from Dragon Ball Z. Apparently, they've been using the same like audio library for the past like 20 years. I guess they're like studios' ideas. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Which to be clear, there's a valid reason there. Like there's a valid lesson to be had there. If the sounds do the job, like there's no reason to make new sounds, you know. And I'm gonna move these over. Actually, give them a little time to be pressed down. Ratio's in. Ha! There's no one here to ratio me. Ha! Sometimes less is more. There's no one here. You're all alone. I'm here to ratio you. You can't ratio me by yourself. That's not how the ratio system works. Alright, fantastic. Fucking hell. Okay. You can't ratio. I'm beyond you now. Alright. So. These kind of separate packs, right? There we go. Son of a gun. Anyways, I think Kyle's streaming today. I don't know. He actually forgot he was streaming yesterday, so that made it a lot easier to kind of like cancel yesterday's stream. Because he wasn't planning on. It seems like he wasn't planning on doing it. Well, I mean, he would have done it if I asked, but like if I had to leave, he was willing to like just let bygones be bygones. Okay, so I think for the purposes of this section, I'll do them one at a time. Yeah, they're going to be a little uneven, but that's just to be expected. High out reversal. Cringe. Yeah, it seems to be popping up quite a bit these days. That's not valid or something. I will choose to clean these up later. I think for now, I should just focus on getting them done first. I mean, until Kyle came along, that was probably the general consensus for the character. Which is not valid. Say block level is not valid? I mean, like, it's entirely possible it's not valid. Kyle's presented the evidence. I read over his evidence. Still haven't watched the video yet. Okay, let's do this. Oh, fuck me, man. Even though I say block level, I wonder why some people think that. Because he doesn't really have a lot of feats. I think in general. I think like besides the bomb feat, like everything else kind of like mid. Oh, this won't be so bad, but I feel tired. I feel fucking tired because of the lack of sleep yesterday. Damn it. Breakers want to argue for Cole? Probably. I'll never understand how that matchup came about. Oh shit, how you doing, Triple? Hi, been buddy. I'm doing pretty good. Just chillaxing, cutting some paper. Well, I'm in college right now still. I still have to, I finish in spring, next spring, not this spring, but I passed all my classes. So it's good. I'm good. That's good, error. That's good. Just busy with work? Yeah, I feel you. Goddamn muscle night girls. No, I haven't started lifting weights yet. I really should though. Like, I've lost the weight. I just need to lift some weights, and I'll probably start. Or I just need to start lifting, and I'll probably be like getting to like a pretty solid physique. Yeah, it'll be the first time. I mean, like, I'm actually probably the healthiest body weight I've been my entire life. So that's nice. Whew, son of a bitch. Well, I had a feeling this was going to take about an hour, and it looks like I was right. Fun times. Fun times. I could try and speed up the process, but I feel like if I do, I'll mess up. I should have gone one of those fucking... Then can I ask you a question? Sure. Ah, fucking hell. Did Care originate from your community? Good question. I'm not too sure. I recall he was around a while back. He might have originated from my community. I remember, like, I mean, he used to show up to the streams a lot, and we used to chat. So it's entirely possible, yeah. I was a lot more rowdy back in the day, but I don't think he, like, directly originated from my community. I think he was a God of War guy first and foremost. He saw me doing some God of War videos and decided to come chill out. He was on my server for a while. But they were, I think, already a group by that point. Hang on. And down we go. As good as healthy as possible. Well, no, my diet's trash. Mangler and Kyle. Mangler's fine. Kyle's fine. Devil's also fine. Just things being chill. I'll move these over here for now. Oh, come on. Let me know. How excited are those guides? From what I've seen so far, they got some potentially good information, but it's gonna be a little harder than the last one I had to get through, which is fine. But this is gonna make it a little more interesting when it comes to going through. I'm gonna spend more time. Thankfully, I'm finishing up my novel. At least the draft I'll send to Kyle probably by the end of this week. So that'll be nice. The other side video. once I finish the subtitles, which I'm like at 20 minutes in, I think, it's a 40-minute video, so I'm halfway done. The next part will be significantly easier, so that'll be nice. Is this your second novel? Technically my third, but yeah, ultimately my second novel. Although Kyle will probably tell me it's terrible and I need to redo several sections of it. Because this time I'm going to wait for Kyle's feedback, because last time I did not. And that feedback could have been useful. The guides are pretty exciting, though. There's still a lot more that's got to be going through them, but once I get through them, I'm sure it'll be well worth it. Just the new lore information that could potentially be in there is worth it already. Yeah, I've been a little slow on the novels. Poor Pimp Demon. I'm going to try and get like another novel or two out by the end of the year after this one. It's going to be a little interesting starting all from scratch, though. Again. How's brother and mama? Brother's good. For now, she's fine. We'll see what happens. Yeah, for the most part, everything's just chill. No, it's fine. Yeah, for the most part, everything's fine. Ah, son of a bitch. Likewise, Triple. Hope everything's going well on your end. No, I'm not really too excited for movies these days. Like, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but I didn't even see into Across the Spider-Verse. Okay, how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, no sense wasting time. Crazy. I saw Into the Spider-Verse, and I'll probably watch the conclusion, but Across the Spider-Verse just seemed kind of like trash to me. I don't know why. Just didn't seem all that good. Oof. Ciphers now as people can ratio me. Oh no. Ugh. Anyways, once the RSF video is done, I do a follow New Vegas video for Pimp Demon. I gotta talk to Mangler because he's not sending me any of the bleach scans yet. Okay, we can clean this up real quickly. There's a guy with over Kratos will lose to Marvel Spider-Man. Gross. That's cursed. Ugh, son of a gun. I gotta buy a new shirt soon. This one's finally starting to lose its pattern, and the other one's already also as well. So I gotta buy some more custom t-shirts soon. A little bit. Ah, son of a bitch. Is there any thought about doing a superhero novel book? Not quite, no. Fucking hell. Rain's literally the main character in my novels. None of you guys have read it. All you guys are hearing is just secondhand information. I don't really do Final Fantasy. I mean, like, I don't really. I mean, I don't do fantasy, if that makes sense. Ugh, son of a bitch. Fuck yeah. Almost there. Almost there. So I already know what the next book's gonna be at least, but unfortunately, writing the books also interferes with making video time. So that's kind of sucks a little bit. But all I've learned is that for my next video, I'm not subtitling it myself. Fuck that. That takes way too much time. That's the main reason the video hasn't come out yet. Like I have almost all scans, I think, at this point. Oh, the hell. Any hypothetical videos you wanted to make but never got a chance to do for any game movies? Yeah, there was supposed to be a How Powerful Handsome Jack way back when. I just didn't talk about it as much. Similar to, like, the How Powerful Samus Aran is kind of a meme on the channel at this point, but Handsome Jack was supposed to be done in the first year of the not the first year, I think like the second year of the channel's history. I still plan to get to that one at one point. I think I mentioned that once or twice. Who's Handsome Jack? Main antagonist of Borderlands 2. Well, let's call a spade here. The only good villain Borderlands has made in their entire fucking franchise. Yeah, so there is a Borderlands guidebook finally coming out soon, so I'm actually curious to see what that's going to say. I might grab that one when it goes on sale. Sounds like a skill issue. For Gearbox? Absolutely. They hit gold with Handsome Jack, and then they never decided, and then like every single villain afterwards has been a fucking travesty. Oh my god, are we almost done? Oh my goodness, yes, finally, just the extra deck coming up. Thank god, holy shit. I think I might just make that fucking 2 for now, just to save me some fucking time. I'll put the extras away for now. I guess they're using their fireworks right now. I thought that's mainly if he plans on streaming tomorrow too in advance, so I know what's going on. They're not. They don't like DMC scaling. Neil doesn't either. He might say otherwise to the contrary, but I know he doesn't like DMC scaling. But I don't think it's that they don't like DMC scaling per se. Well, no, they don't like DMC scaling. I don't think they like DMC scalers, to be more accurate. That's part of the reason why Neil never really talks about DMC on the server, because he doesn't like talking about it with us. The hypothetical DMC games definitely were the ones that I think got the most like reaction. That I was like kind of surprised. That and the original How Powerful Virgil, I think it has like over 10,000 views. I'd like to point out that that has over 10,000 views, but Digital T's video on How Powerful I think Dante and Virgil got has over like 100,000. So I don't know if there's a formatting issue I have or not, but it is what it is. Maybe it was just wrong timing. Nothing better actually. I'm sorry, but why? Probably because of like the way like Mangler and like would pounce on him for like disagreeing. Don't get me wrong. I like Neo as the guy. I do think his standards are a little different though. I think that on a personal level, I can't give you exact examples, but I know there have been times where he stood against DMC on scaling, and I just thought to myself like, yeah, would you accept the exact same thing for something else? It doesn't happen often. I think it's happened only a few times. Hmm. Eh. Honestly, I don't really have any that I would have like really wanted to perform higher than the others. This next one would be nice if it performed a little better than usual, but it won't. And I'll be spending all this effort for nothing. Well, no, that's not true. I actually had a lot of fun. It's just the subtitling that's not fun. Once I get rid of the subtitling for the next video, I'm gonna have a lot more fun with the editing. The subtitling has just made it a fucking nightmare. I could just call it quits on the subtitling and just get rid of them altogether, but I kind of feel like I'm already committed to the bit, so I might as well see it through to the end. But next time, no subtitles. He does do some spy matches with DMC on the server. Yeah, of course he does. So you have to understand, Neo got tired about hearing about DMC because he hung out with us all the time, and so he also just disagrees with it. 2 Dark Souls is something I might ask him for just playing to him later. You know, he's just not very fond of the franchise, mostly because of us. Well, I say yes, but it's mainly in English. Okay, I'm going to separate these out for now. Just so I don't have to put so much fucking work in right now. Alan I talk to every now and again. You guys gonna do that towards the bell? No, it's just because of us and DMC. Like, make no mistake here. Neo can tell you whatever he wants, but I guarantee you at the end of the day, he heard us talking about DMC beating a lot of verses consistently. He hears us talking about DMC every fucking day when he showed up. And he kind of got tired of it. It was like, I think the best way I can describe it. Make no mistake. It's because of how much time he spent with us with DMC. And also because of the way he got treated at times for disagreeing. Because things like Mangler and Kyle are not... You might have noticed this when Cyber showed up for the... I mean, you guys also were out for blood on that one, too. But when Cyber showed up for the G1 blog for the Dovahkiin versus the Dark Souls, the Chosen Undead character, Kyle's not very neutral. Mangler is arguably worse in that regard, which is kind of impressive. So, yeah, Neo probably has a sour taste in his mouth with DMC because of that as well. That being said, I do think he is very lenient towards our series rather than DMC regardless, which I think is not a good scaling thing to have, but, you know, everyone could scale it to their own way. Lies on neutral. Neutrally full of shit, maybe. Look out. Yeah, no, Neil's disdain for DMC comes from us, though. Or, well, I say us, but really I'm just throwing Mangler under the bus here. Don't get me wrong, Neil's still a chill guy. You know, we still hang out with him when he shows up. You know, I'm chill with him. I'm pretty sure Kyle's chill with him. I know Mangler's chill with him. You know me. Son of a gun. I really should have lined these up. Almost over. Lol in the base back now funny, and we're like, it's not that serious, it's just opinions. No. You have to understand that behind the scenes, we would have these conversations, and we weren't jumping on Neo, but like, imagine hearing day in and day out, this character stomps out this character consistently. Oh, what neutral? I'm pretty sure Mangler didn't really give any attention regarding Chosen. No. I'm referring to Neo here. No. You fuckers were neutral when I was having a conversation with Cyber, and you guys were all just like, ask him about the author statements. He lies. His standards have doubled. Speaking of which, I guess Death Battle did the Pentagram matchup. I guess Misaka versus Killua was the Pentagram matchup, because the actual series they chose for that was a certain magical index, not a certain scientific railgun. Go on, Kyle. Break your neutrality. Do it. Do it. Prove to everyone here what I already know is truth. I don't need to be all-knowing to know what you're about, Kyle. And it's sure as hell not neutrality. He's trying to spin it onto me. I accidentally hit some of the card there. Hello, Nathan. You're new here. That ball's weird. Oh shit, hello, Jeremy. Oh shit, you guys are all showing up. Hey, Jeremy, what's up? That ball's weird. I don't think their content's gotten worse. I'm just not too interested in watching a lot of their matchups anymore. Which, I mean, makes sense. Like, the longer you go on with a series like Death Battle, the more your matchups become a little more wonky. And also, the more you learn how to scale. Am I good? Yeah, we're good. I don't know. I feel fucking dead as shit. My brother probably won't let me go to sleep because he'll probably be showing up fucking late as hell anyways to shower at fucking 2 a.m. in the fucking morning. But I'm not mad. Oh, son of a bitch. Almost done. Almost done, Zim. Ah! Fuck. As for yes or no, not your life story, Kyle, I don't feel like plugging in the PS4. My brother was like, you have my permission to trade in the PS4 for a PS5. So I was like, okay, I'll see how much it costs to get a PS5. And I go to GameStop, which was my first mistake. I go to GameStop. And I'm like, how much would you guys accept for a trade-in? And they're like, we'll give you $90 for a PS4 with a controller, power brick, and everything. And I'm like, 90 bucks? That's just a stretch. That's a stretch. That's a yell stretch, bro. That's a stretching yell. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I am wholesome. Kyle's like, oh, Zim, plug in the PS4, bro. Stop being lazy. And I'm just like, no. No, please. Also, I'm really close to being done with my novel. So I don't know. I might just skip Kyle's stream so I can just work on that too, along with the editing. Because I'm like on page, I think I'm on page like 220 out of 250. Which means that I'm actually close to being fucking done finally. The end is in sight. Kyle asking for all this information. Kyle, I'm too exhausted to give you a one word answer. I only got like 3 hours of sleep. I've been like going all over the place. And instead of like sitting down playing some mobile games and relaxing on YouTube, I'm busy cutting paper. So, you forgive me for being a little exhausted. No, you're not. I still have to review and then you go back and fix. God, he's gonna tell me it's all fucking trash. Well, I have to get it out fucking now so I can at least start moving on to the next novel while you're reviewing. Fuck you. Fuck you. I didn't even try and put comedy in this one. Fuck you. Oh, Red vs. Blue comedy. Fuck you. I'm gonna show you versus Blue comedy, you fucking Aussie. Oh, did I fuck up the card? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Excuses. Nah, no excuses. No, I don't make excuses. I only get results. Cutting paper. Caesar never told this time, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, those jokes were funny. You can go fuck yourself. Okay. Almost done. Let's go. Come on. Come on. God, there's so much paper. That's what I get for being lazy with the formatting. I'll have to remember that for next time. Oh yeah, Kyle, I got new Fist of the North Star guidebooks, so that's cool. Yeah, my grandmother gave me $50, so I was able to print all this stuff out, thankfully, with no real hassle in terms of money. Besides Newman's fees, of course. Don't you Maui statue me? Time versus Kendante solo. I mean, probably a lot of them. Can't give you like a numerical number. But like, I mean, probably a lot. There are plenty of verses that aren't even like fucking superhuman, you know? The thing is like when you say how many verses can a person solo, it's like, well, it's like, you know, I mean, like there's a whole genre of things called books and literature. You know, the things that we don't normally power scale that would have like weak as shit characters. Like I'm pretty sure Dante solos everyone in the book Gone Girl. You know, call me crazy. So yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot of verses. I don't know. Dante probably solos Lord of the Rings, depending on where you want to scale Lord of the Rings. Because that scaling chain's also weird. Probably so. Well, actually, no. The Chronicles of Narnia, from what I understand, gets into like high 1B territory in Aslan's true form. Sam Blackfish Energy versus Jordan Amp. What the hell does Jordan Amp even mean? What, he's got like a pair of Jordans now? Proceeds to bait Kyle? Nah, it's not baiting Kyle. He knows I'm right. What the hell is Aragorn gonna do to Dante? Like, also, what, gonna throw some arrow, gonna shoot some fucking arrows at him? Fucking do literally nothing? You think Dante's still the spirit? Zim, do you remember if Metal Gear Zeke had a confirmed way, or if I could try and compare it to the others? Zeke should have a confirmed way. I think they all do. You're gonna have to check guidebooks though, but Zeke, I'm pretty sure Zeke has a confirmed way. For some reason, just thinking about the SCP Foundation, it reminded me of the Goku meme where Goku like shows up and is all like, "Hey, I hear your porn addiction is strong. Let me fight it." You know, all things considered, they actually came out looking rather nice. Can Dante beat his porn addiction? I don't have a porn addiction. That's wrong. I'm wholesome. How can I have a porn addiction if I'm wholesome? Exactly. I can't. That's not how this works. No, it doesn't. Shut up. No, Sparta is probably asleep still. Or at work. I don't know. I don't even know if he fucking works or not. He's a little. No, yes, he should work. I think he has a factory job. No, I think he quit that. No, yes. I think he's working. Oh, son of a gun. Almost free. Whew. God, what the James versus him? I don't have a porn addiction. I can go several days on end without looking at unwholesome things because I'm a perfectly wholesome person and I've never looked at an unwholesome thing in my life. Not once. Nothing about me is unwholesome. Okay. I am the wholesome one. I really wish there wasn't such a translation issue with New Instinct because I think I'm gonna have to get the text here fixed at a later date. However, now that the art's more or less handled, that shouldn't be too difficult. I think he sent me blank copies for every card. Vodka Devil versus Zim's porn addiction. Devil doesn't drink vodka, he just drinks Monster. And somehow hasn't croaked from it yet. Devil drinks Monster like it's going out of style. He drinks Monster like he's in an oasis in a desert. Oh, I must say, boy, my well done himself. Mm. Do I have the Canada event storyline? But it's a canon event, bro. How long does this take? About an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, it makes sense. Your J's are mine. I don't wear J's. I've worn the same pair of shoes for 7 years. Hello, watermelon. Well, no. Guys, I don't have a porn addiction. Come on now. You're making me sound unwholesome. I'm not wholesome. sleeves for this. Oh, is that the air? Oh my god, why is it so warm? I was actually taking the funniest screenshot ever. Why? Finish that sentence, Watermelon. Why are you hesitating? Oh no, please finish that sentence, Watermelon. You were saying something about my forehead. Please. Don't mind me. Oh, you're right. I must have misheard you by reading your text. What you reading, Zim? Nothing. Same cipher as a funny screenshot. Me talking about your forehead wasn't a canon event, so I finished the sentence you will implode. That's fine. Finish the sentence. That's supposed to convince me to say no? Finish the sentence. You were already so close. What's stopping you? Don't mind me. Bigger man than Miguel. Ah, son of a bitch. Admit the truth, Zim. Oh yeah, I've already admitted the truth consistently. I've said no lies. Finally, fuck. An hour and 20 minutes is what it took. Holy shit. I'm gonna make sure I have these fucking standardized in format next time. So I can just pay the girl to just fucking cut these for me. Or I could have bought that actual page slicer. Would have gone by a little faster too. Either or would have worked. You read comics, Zim? Every now and again. Not too fan. I'm more of a fan of the manga nowadays. Holy shit, it's fucking... Damn it, well, when he's right, he's right. What the hell does that even mean? No problem, Triple. Just chillaxing. Okay, finally, I'm done. Holy shit. Now comes another long set of tasks. A little tough on the plastic, but that's okay. Didn't cost all that much money. Nice. All right. And the fact she doesn't have a concussion or anything would be a clear sign of like at least superhuman there. Ah. So, seems most people have taken off by now. In case you guys were wondering what the hell I've been cutting all this time, prototypes for my card game is what I've been cutting this entire time. Very nice. I can't look at it right now. Okay, let's go. Yeah, no, she's at least superhuman in terms of her ability there in that regards. Now I have to sleeve these things. Wonderful. Actually, real talk for a minute. That actually looks kind of sick. I think Newman's artwork actually pops a lot nicer when you actually have it like on an actual card setup. Unfortunately, it's not quite as flat as I'd like it, but it does not look terrible. How's your card game play? I'll let you know when I finalize the rules. I just have to clean up the edges a little bit, but actually the artwork actually turned out pretty nice, all things considered. Or at least they actually look like cards in a card game. Actually, I have to give credit to Newman where credit's due. That sensibility of his certainly came in handy there. Now, if only the guy wouldn't throw me into a potential lawsuit every time I commission something, we'd be significantly more golden. Although I will say, I was a little worried for looking too busy, but it doesn't look quite as busy when you actually have it in the card text area. I think I've been looking at this enlarged the entire time, so it looks a little busier than I thought it was going to. And I saw they had it coming. Yeah, because like the card, I was a little worried it was going to look really busy in a card sleeve, but it's actually not bad at all. I'm actually kind of pleased with how the actual art actually look. It looks like an actual card game, which I mean, planned to be, but like you get what I'm saying. Very nice. There's so much fucking paper I'm about to pick up later. Yeah, no, like I was actually really worried about the bit, like if it was gonna look busy or not, because I thought we had a little too much there, but it looks like it came out rather fine in that regard. Or it's not as noticeable or as distracting as I was worried it was going to be, which is always stellar news. Of course he has a talent. He makes fucking money off all of us. But no, when I was looking at the cards over for the designs, I was thinking to myself, well, shit, this might look really cluttered in comparison to other card arts. But I suppose some more new insensibilities. Yeah, doesn't look all that cluttered. These cards are actually the same size. Fucking go figure, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. Or if I compare it to something like Digimon, for example, I know there's some Digimon cards in here somewhere. Yeah, because you want a nice simple template to work with. Again, these are actually the same size. The papers are just a little bigger, I think. But they're supposed to be the same size. Yeah, yeah, that actually looks fine by comparison. I was a little worried about that. In case you're wondering what I'm doing specifically, I have a bunch of random cards that I don't use. So rather than buy this prototype as cardstock, which would be a lot more expensive, not by like not like an extra $12. I decided to just get it printed out at a local shop because my printer doesn't work, and I bought sleeves and I have all these surplus cards. So to give the cards the appearance of thickness of a playing card, of actual playing cards, I put the picture on top of playing cards on the in the sleeves, and that gives them the illusion of being like an actual playing card. These are not cardstock though. If these were cardstock, I would have not left the store without getting them done. So I'm very pleased how it turned out. It's a lot simpler and a lot nicer than I thought it would have. Fuck me, this is gonna take a while. Thankfully, I don't think I have to cut through all of these, but some of these do need to be trimmed up because they won't fit into the deck sleeve effectively. I have to get them as trimmed up as possible to the original measurement, or to the actual measurement of the decks. I think these card sleeves are rated for. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. That is what the point of this is. These are all characters from my novel and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just that like we live in a day and age where you can make whatever you want. And I just thought to myself in the back of my head, like, I play card games a lot. I have issues with card games. Why not, just make my own card game? 5 months is almost over. Is it? Right, right, I think we're at the end of the month. There's no reason not to in today's day and age. You don't even need all that much money. We live in a day and age now where people can create their own media and shit. Yeah, look at that. Actual center hand. Although the paper does make it a lot slippier than it's supposed to be. Oh, fuck! Oh. Thoughts on Surfbone? None. I've seen his content a few times. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too good either. Personally, I'm not really. Don't really have an opinion either way. That needs to be trimmed up. Shout out to your supporters, man. Thank you, Pimp Demon, for the money. Thank you, Rock and Alice, for the money. There's a third one. I think J Anarchy is still giving money, which really appreciated. Those cards are unique, though. Well, that's kind of the point. They're supposed to be. Did you debate a lot of people back in the day, Zim? I didn't debate people a lot back in the day, but I certainly debate a lot more frequently back in the day than I do now. I actually met Kyle by debating. Yeah, no. Although there are some moments where I have to wonder about this. Like I told Newhan to save this picture without that little screenshot in the background. He said it was clear to use and fair game. I told him to save one without it just in case he's wrong because I'm pretty sure that's going to run the licensing issues. But for now, for a prototype, not a big deal. Once I finalize the game and everything, I'll have to go through it. Because these cards might not even do like what they're currently doing. I might have to like retool them. However, now that the artwork's done, the most expensive part of the matter, fixing up the artwork, fixing up everything else won't be an issue. What was the stream about? Me just like making prototypes for my card game, essentially. Also, hello, Red Dusk. I barely got any sleep though, so I am a little fuzzy today on the details of a lot of things. Now I need Microsoft to get a game developer and turn a novel into a video game. How about first I make a good novel first? Let's handle the basics first. I say as I work on making these cards fit into sleeves. Yes, I met Mangler by debating because Mangler had like the worst opinion on the planet back in the day. He had two of the worst opinions I've ever heard in my life. Mangler's a person I respect as a scaler, but when I met him, he had two of the dumbest opinions I've ever heard in my life. His first opinion, his first mistake, was he thought that boss attacks in games should not be allowed to be used for scaling purposes. Ridiculous, but that wasn't his great sin. No. His great sin was that dumb motherfucker thought that Scourge in Gears of War 2 could be wrong in a fight. Motherfucker thought Scourge was squaring up. Motherfucker thought the crackhead at 7-Eleven was going to square up to Rom. Oh, that was the stupidest take I've ever heard in my life. That's almost as bad as hearing about... That's actually worse than me hearing people say Rao gets stomped in the island of Ozra. I would rather take those opinions than someone coming up to me and being like, Scourge beats Rom in a fight? In what universe? Because it can't be this one. In what reality? You see that Krill storm outside? Yeah, well now you're dead. I remember when y'all had a debate, and this is like during Devil May Cry 5 release. I remember this is also on your second channel. Yes, it was on my second channel. It's still on my second channel. I don't use that second channel too often. It's just there kind of like as a backup in case inevitably I get channel struck again. I might switch the live streams over to the secondary channel just so I stop loading my main channel. I just won't link it. I'll just leave it for the regulars who already show up to the channel anyways to streams. That way also, if I get bigger at some point, I can just like have chill that. Ah, son of a bitch. Why did I make this game 50 cards? I'm just glad I have use for my fucking cards I don't fucking use. I have not yet, no. Because so I couldn't do fucking shit yesterday. After I got off the stream and everything, my mom contacted us saying she was gonna come back, but I didn't know when. So I'm like, all right, I can't really do shit. I'll go sleep early. And then out of fucking nowhere, my brother's like, oh, okay, well she's coming at 7:30. Fuck. Okay, she's coming at 7:30 in the morning. Haven't woken up at 7:30 in the morning in like 6 fucking years, but okay, I'll make it work. And then he decides to prevent me from going to sleep until 3 a.m. So I didn't have time for shit. Most of the people on this channel I met were technically antagonists. I think Kyle mentioned it during one of his live streams where it's like my YouTube career has been like a shonen series. Because like even Neo showed up as an antagonist, although that was kind of a misunderstanding from my part. How embarrassing. We were just saying she controls speed of lightning. Example, remember when last stream we were talking about Trisha and Lightning mainly debate where like, oh yeah, no. So me and Mangler, for the most part, we overall agree on DMC scaling, but we do have disagreements here and there. Why was he an antagonist? Kyle? Because Kyle showed up to fight me. Alright, that's fine. You see, I once had the correct opinion that Jack and Daxter beat Ratchet and Clank in a versus matchup. No excuses if you had all this time. I have plenty of excuses. Are you gonna make videos on Ken and Jaggy? Yes, yes. Although, well, so Ken Shuro I was gonna save till the very end. I feel like these cards are gonna have to be retooled a little bit. Neo started off as antagonist too. Oh, Neo? Because I said that when Neo first showed up to the channel, I accused Neo of stealing versus Battle Wiki's format. And so that's how I met Neo, because Neo heard that and he's like, hey, I didn't do that shit. What the fuck's going on? Because what happened is I was on a VSB thread back in the day, and they accused Neo of doing it. And I went over to Neo's Omniversal Battlefield wiki, and they have similar formats. They have similar formats. I think Neo can agree with that one. And so I was like, okay, I can see where this is coming from. Yeah, it seems like he stole that from VSB. And so then Neo hits me up. And the rest is history. Speaking of it, durability, a cutscene where they were escaping on a tram, it got blown up, but Chai's completely fine, but Corsica gets attention to the point in the cyber parts. What's your take on that? You can just argue that Corsica was just like weakened or just like already injured from her fight with Chai. Because keep in mind that canonically, the way you beat Corsica is by countering all her moves. So that means you can make an argument that Corsica never even hits Chai in their battle. Also, how human character scale on fucking Hi-Fi Rush is just fucking weird. Whew, almost there. This is deck 1, actually. I have to make 2 decks so I can actually start mirror matching and testing this. No, I was gonna read it. I was gonna read it actually after the stream was done. I was kind of hoping you weren't gonna show up and ask me, because I might show up to Kyle's stream later, and I thought, well, if he's gonna be at Kyle's stream, I'll have to read that for him before he gets there, because I would have read it yesterday, but I was trying to go to fucking sleep. If yesterday was a normal day, I would have already read it. Like, I'll just tell you that flat out. Like, I have time at night to do it. If I had time on my PC a little longer, I would have read it already. But tonight I will have read it. For sure. Because I do read that stuff at night, so it's all like, well, if it was a normal night, I would have read it because I read that sort of thing at night. Okay, well. What about the Monday night after the stream? I can't remember what the fuck happened Monday night. Actually, Child was being punched by a robot that sent him through multiple walls. Yeah, but of course the exposure is different. I remember you sent it to me for a few days ago. I can't remember what the hell happened at. No, Monday night I was just editing the Aerosite video, and then I passed out because I ended up fucking falling asleep because editing subtitles is a massive pain in the ass. Tuesday. No. Monday night we were streaming with Devil. I had a actually okay. I remember what happened that night. I had to have a conversation with Devil afterwards because he had some issues he wanted to talk about. He can confirm this. No, was that Sunday or was that Monday? When did we stream Cold War? Was that Sunday or Monday? That must have been Sunday. What the fuck happened Monday night? My nights have been spent writing my novel and editing, so I can't fucking remember what I was doing Monday night. And that's not a good sign. I can usually tell you what I do on days. I think I just passed out while editing. Midday? That's like the only thing I could think of because I can't remember a fucking thing about what happened Monday night. Get some rest. Mangler asked me if there's a stream tomorrow. I might cancel tomorrow's stream because I'd rather sleep in. Or I'll ask Mangler if he's willing to like stream later in the day because I don't feel like waking up tomorrow at 11 unless I naturally wake up. Sorry, I'm not. Yeah, take your time. I think it was yeah, no, I think what happened Monday night is I spent time working on the novel, I edited, and then I passed out afterwards because the novel's so close to being done that it's been consuming my editing time. These power scaling videos have been the most popular stuff in power scaling recently. Yep, just not mine. Which, again, has its benefits and not benefits. Apparently no one likes a 2-hour discussion on how Dante's powers actually work. Go figure. That's okay, though. I might use you people, actually, so we're going to swap over to you. Holy shit. Well, how many more cards do we have to get through? Still too many. You talking about Digital T? Yeah, that guy's really blown up. Good for him. Like, a little silly, a lot of his videos don't have a lot of information. He still gets all those views, but like I think that's specifically because his videos are so short they get so many views. Now you have lowered my expectations. Your expectations of me have it. What do you mean they've been lowered? Hang on, let's talk about that for a minute. Hello, Daniel Brown. You showed up, I believe, on the last stream. I'm sorry, Red Dust, that I've let you down a little bit. Mango hasn't sent me the bleach shit yet for some fucking reason. I need to sit down and talk to him about that. Wanting to get on that shit. I'd like to potentially accept commissions again. That would hopefully not take a whole fucking year this time. Now that there's not really any more beef going on with the channel anymore. You know what the worst part about this is? Is I cut these exactly the same way. So like once I'm done with this deck, I have to go back and do the exact same for the same deck again afterwards. Oh, that. You might be thinking to yourself, why do you need two decks? Well, because if I'm going to make rules, I have to test them out in a duel. And in order to duel, you need two decks. So, rather than wait for Newhin to finish another deck, because, you know, it cost me like $300 something for this one alone, although there were a few other commissions in there. I think just the cards alone would have cost me probably somewhere in the range of like $250. Which, to be fair, is actually pretty solid. Much of my, that's like half of what my comic projects usually cost, so that's fine. You guys see the faces? Yeah, Cypher, what's up? Oh, that came out nearly perfect, actually. That's a fair price. No, it is. Like, I was just kind of hoping. I'm just trying to. I was hoping to keep under 300 because I'd rather this project for 4 starting decks doesn't cost fucking over 1,000. Which, granted, again, is still like a fair price, like custom artwork. Well, keep in mind that like I'm not including the cost to manufacture these things because like printing all these cards out ended up costing me like $27 because I don't own a printer, which to be clear is like still relatively cheap. Evil Zoom is now canon? Nah. How can I be evil? There we go. Almost done. What the first batch of cards? Son of a bitch. Lies. Wait, Pentium sent a message right now. That's weird. He's usually not awake by this time. Oof. The entire process is gonna take a while still. That should be good enough. Red Dust probably went off to sleep already because that boy works at night. Ah, son of a bitch. No problem. I mean, you can check if you want, just like, you know, don't get involved in debates. Like, that's what I do. Because, like, I'm part of a Fist of North Star server where I disagree with the guys completely, but, like, I just don't get involved in any, I just don't try and debate them on it. Because also, I think debates, yeah, I'll say, I think debates are also not a waste of time per se, but I don't think debates inherently are good for the overall objective information of power scaling in general, or actually in any information. Because the thing is the person who wins the debate is just the guy who's better at debating. It's not usually the guy who's well, it could be the guy who's right, but it's not necessarily the guy who's right. That's why we kind of prefer doing videos more often than not. Because with the video, we can present all the evidence and we don't have to discuss like fucking potential fallacies and shit or whatever and like dance around that whole chestnut. Very nice. Yeah, no, it seems you're debating all over the place. Sparta gets involved in those shenanigans too, actually.
You're gonna jog with a regular schedule day by night. Damn, Zim, you're on a roll day, dude. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I haven't slept in like days. Don't do this to me. You know I got insomnia. Don't do this to me. I'm literally running on like empty right now. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Red Dusk is judging me. Red Dusk, be reasonable, one man. Nah, I just have fucking insomnia.
Which is fine normally because I can sleep in fucking late most of the time because I just go to college and I don't have like a normal fucking 9 to 5 job. Which even if I had 9 to 5, like again, it's just like fucking today in particular, fucking having to wake up at 7. No, because I didn't have to wake up at 7. I had to wake up at like fucking 6. So I can finally start getting some sleep at like 3:30, and then like 2.5 hours, I gotta go fucking drive like for fucking 40 minutes. So it's all like, yeah, it wasn't exactly fucking a stellar hand down my way. Like right now as I'm talking to you guys, I can sort of I already feel a little dazed. Like I feel like I can kind of feel the sort of like dazed and confused feeling of drowsiness. Which thankfully I'm not driving anywhere else today, so fuck it, that's fine. Yeah, no, these cards end up turning out significantly better than I was expecting. I was expecting decent artwork and shit, but like the actual appearance of them is actually significantly nicer than I was expecting. What happened there? Would you make a tire list on the characters you power scaled? Well, I don't know what a tire list is. What's wrong with that jump cut? Randomly disconnected for some reason. Pre-recorded. A tier list? I don't even know what the tier list would be. Oh, there's actually another video. I don't think Triple's here anymore. Oh, well, actually, no, he might be. There's actually another video I never got around to making, but I felt like you guys wouldn't have appreciated it, and I was thinking of power scaling She-Ra, not from the original show, but from the Netflix animated show She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Because I actually ended up binging that one day when I was bored on Netflix. Actually, overall solid show. I try giving American animation a try every now and again, especially if it's serialized. I'm not the biggest fan of like random cartoons. Ah, son of a bitch. Right. Ya está gonna afuera? Yeah, pero esos son neighbors. Serialized? Serialized. Amá, está trabajando. Amá, estaba ahí en Target. ¿Dormiste siempre o no?
No.
Was serialized? Serialization is a concept where shows will continue a storyline. So most cartoons usually, like a great example is Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry has stories per episode, but there's no real overarching story. There's no real narrative to sink into. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No pueden encontrar sus bolsas y nomás puse ahí en las cosas. Oh, eso sí saqué. Yo sé. I would have watched the vid. Thank you, Triple. Although my Amazon history would have looked a little weird if I bought school or comics and books meant for little girls for scaling purposes. That would have been a little awkward, not gonna lie. So what you're saying is you don't like watching episodic shows? The show's episodic? No. Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of episodic shows for American serialization. Not anymore. There are definitely some ones in the past that I did like, but they still had overarching, storylines. Helps improve my rhetoric, though. I've been power scaling for like 3 years now. Discussing is always better than debating. The problem is that a lot of people don't understand the difference anymore. I mean, you got this whole new wave of like TikTok power scalers and shit, which is just like scum. Yeah, credit where credit's due. That shit came out looking clean. ¿Eh? Le voy a meter todos los bots ahí. Oh, fuck me. Anybody that's close to you outside of YouTube read your novel? Fuck no. My closest friends won't give any of my creative works the time of day. I'll tell you fair, they don't read anyway, so it's like I'm not gonna force them to fucking read my shit. Tíos. Es porque ya estaban ahí por como 2 semanas.
O sea, están frozen. También los vegetables están como por el ahora time. I think too much ago.
Oh my goodness, mujer.
¿No te has comido los chocolates?
No todos, pero tú sabes que
No,
necesito
yo-
algo para levantarme.
Ok, ya, levántate, por favor. Yo no quiero de esos. Yo soy ¿qué es esto? Ah, ese Fabián, ¿verdad? No, ok.
¿Sabes qué? Tuya.
No, no.
How skilled I think Chai is? Not very skilled. He just has the benefit of keeping everything on beat. Although, I mean, he's not like trash per se, but I don't think he has any real skill statements. And none of the people he's fighting really are like all that skilled either, except maybe Corsica, who he did kind of like beat. Chai is the main character of High Fight Rush.
En el tiempo que yo estuve allá se acabaron todos los paper towels que compraron.
Sí. Mamá,
Mande.
en mi teléfono, ¿qué miras? Hasta que está vivo. ¿Qué? Mamá, pensaba que estaba platicando yo solo todo el tiempo.
No, que como que te estabas haciendo recording para luego subir el video. Eso pensé que estabas haciendo como recording que ya había pasado ese tiempo que tú estabas live.
Ya, pero casi nada cambió, menos como basura tirado y cosas así.
Mira, una crazy que salió, una crazy como la Willy.
¿Tienes el mismo lugar?
Eso no lo vas a hacer, ¿verdad?
¿Cuál?
No vas a hacer tarjeta, yo creo que lo sabriste.
Sí, los fui a bloquear que me hicieron, pero siempre no. Hang on, guys.
Bueno,
¡Los cupones no!
esto no, esto también tú lo abriste, lo mismo que abriste de las Chase. Esto tampoco no, esto tampoco no.
¿Eh? Ah, es Burger King cupones. Burger King.
Ah, sí, pero no, porque ahí traes un carro todo calculado.
Hang on, guys.
Samuel y Lorena.
Ábrelo si quieres, no abrir tus cosas. ¿No está abogado?
Una de la puerta.
Pues yo no sé, pero tú.
¿Por qué no dijiste?
Yo no sé qué es. Y si es de corte, para mí va a decir que es de corte. Y si es de corte, para mí va a decir ayer que es de corte.
Ah. What the fuck? Oh, es de la Chase, lo único. Ya la tuvo que notar. Es de la casa.
Sí. Pues ya no, dije. Sorry guys, anxiety's acting up a little bit.
¿Ya pagaste?
Debería, no, no, papá no me dijo nada.
Cierra.
Hey,
Llegó todo el cierre.
sí. Es porque quieres ver.
Es para mí, Rafael.
Sí, pero tienes que llamarlo.
No, me hablaron que con el doctor es el cierre.
Jason.
Wait, so Rush, 3 times 10. High Five Rush is a rhythm breaking. Hell yeah. High Five Rush is it's a hack and slash, but it's rhythm based.
Ah, son of a bitch. Gotta make sure my hands are dry. Because I'm messing with paper right now. Yeah, it qualifies under hack and slash, technically. Ah, son of a bitch. Actually feels almost like a real deck. Okay, so how many cards do I have left?
O sea, ¿por qué no abriste este tuyo? Es un cheque.
What's good does he give us? Oh, there they are. Oh, so I'm missing cards here.
Oh, no, eso no. ¿Lo tiró? No.
Sí. Yo no necesito mucho ahorita. Uf. Although I'm at least a little grateful the receptionist was kind of chill about the whole situation when I was asking her to print them out. Things could go a little weird there. Although I will have to make I have to make a conscious decision in the future if I should invest in a printer that doesn't have ink that spills over, that doesn't like dry up over time, because some of these cards in the future are going to be probably something I wouldn't want to have a conversation with in public with somebody. At least not like, you know, like walking in being like, please print this out. Probably not this. Probably would have to like work something out there. They got your opinion. Do you think DMC5 is truly the last game of DMC? Do you think it was a good way to end it? Yeah, I think overall it was a good way to end it. You pass the torch. We get sort of resolution to the Virgil storyline. Yeah, I think overall it was a pretty solid way to end it off. Obviously, I prefer a little more material, but if that's all she wrote, I think that's a satisfactory way to end it. Whew. They could continue with Nero, but like again, I'm not too sure if they're going to continue DMC as a whole. They might just call it quits. Even though DMC5 sold really well, they might just call it quits on DMC. Or just stick to remakes for the time being. I wouldn't mind a reboot or a remake of DMC1. Yeah, I got those sexy Trish mods on PC. I mean, they could create a spin-off game like how I did DMC, the original, like Resident Evil. They could. But like, they don't even touch series that desperately need a rework, like Onimusha. Oh, Onimusha would be fucking great.
¿Esta la cambiaste con el tiempo que yo no estuve?
Sí, esa es nueva.
Ok.
La otra está ahí en el baño.
No, no, Josué
No, en el
se-
baño, en la sucia.
Josué se ponen allá abajo.
Ah. Pues yo todo en el lavado. Do you mean Okami? No, I mean Onimusha. See, you already don't know about it. Unless I'm calling it the wrong name. It's not Okami though. Okami's the one with the dog. I did have Powerful on it a while back. I'm pretty sure it is Onimusha.
Ay, ¿qué le pasó a tu cosa?
¿Cuál cosa?
Está como bien mugrosa.
Fui en la última vez. Yo no sé qué hizo. Lo lavó anoche, yo creo. No, I'm pretty sure it's Onimusha. I'm pretty sure it's Onimusha. Well, we're getting there. They did offer card stock at the store, but because I'm pretty sure these cards are going to be changed significantly as I play, test, and develop this game further, I didn't feel like paying for card stock now. I'll have to pay for card stock when I'm satisfied with the overall game process and everything. However, if I paid for card stock at least, it probably would have come out a lot like fucking easier and I wouldn't be doing this. I prefer standing for the most part, and also I bought in the time you've been gone triple. I bought a phone handle to hold phones up. Ugh.
2 hours into this process, holy shit. I think what will happen is I won't stick around. I won't stay on stream for the next deck I'll be doing, because I think that'd just be a bit of a waste of time. And I think, well, we'll see what happens. Because the thing is, like, I'm gonna have to cut all these things out for the next deck, and I'm probably gonna do that today too, actually. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. You guys seem to be more or less having a decent time.
I also don't have a card back yet either, which is something that had to be discussed.
Zoom gaming chair reveal. Like when I stream on my PC over there in the room, I'm sitting on the gaming chair, right? You know, Red Dusk paid for it with the commission, because people can complain about my last chair squeaking too much. Although that commission still needs to be fucking done. Was Aang right to spare Ozai? Fuck no. Should've fucking killed Ozai.
Look at that. Last time I told him was getting the scans. Well, he must be waiting to get them all before he sends them to me. But then Aang is a monk, and that doesn't fucking matter. Even the other monk was like, "Yeah, you should probably kill him." ¿Eh? ¿Ropa? Sí. Todo eso sí te copa ahora y mañana. Almost done. Almost done.
Three Hayabusa versus Kratos? I'm gonna get 3 Hayabusa personally. Whew. Nice.
The squeaky chair will be missed, yes. Oh, son of a gun. My prediction for them coming back will not be on the big screen, although that might happen. I suspect that Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire will come back in audio voicing roles for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I suspect we'll be getting them more directly in the next movie. No, I think Rio Hayabusa takes that one. Kratos doesn't really have a lot of good skill showings. I think Rio Hayabusa has better ones. He also has Rio Hayabusa has a better power set, for being honest. But takes your own. Once I scale Dead or Alive, I'll explain Rio Hayabusa's scaling chain. Sheesh.
Potentially, yeah. I believe that you can argue True Dragon Sword to be like a discount Yamato.
Miles Morales is just such a new fucking character. People should be grateful he has a movie at all. Let alone the whole trilogy. For reals, like Miles got some special treatment. Huh? No tengo algo para esto, porque creo que es algo de la paz. Yo no conozco esta cosa. CalSavers, ¿tú conoces eso? Pues es tax papers, déjalo allí, pero yo no sé nada de eso. Yo no sé por qué lo están mandando ya, taxes ya fucking pasaron.
Eso digo que es raro, que no lo viste.
Andrew Garfield should get his third movie for sure. I don't know anything about Tokyo Avengers. Sorry. Ah, fuck. I'm just gonna finish cutting up all the rest of these cards real quickly, trimming them down. Yeah, but then you find out the reason the movie was never made specifically had less to do with. So, this is where it gets kind of funny is that according to the story, Sony actually wanted Andrew Garfield to continue being Spider Man. He was just sick in time for the meeting with Marvel, so they went with Tom Holland. So, like, Andrew got robbed on, like, every level. ¿Qué dice?
California coverage. Que impactará mi propiedad de que
Llámalos para pegar. ¿Están diciendo que si ellos dan un chance ahí te van a dar dinero? Pero nomás te van a cobrar si ganan.
si la propiedad está contaminada.
Llámalos si quieres. No puedes pedir nada.
Y le van a hacer como una prueba.
Yo creo en inspección, sí. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man versus Toby. Toby will take that. Holding his punches basically, well, Rhino could take it, but when he means holding his punches, that basically, the implication is that he started killing people. The implication is that he stopped trying, like when a normal person walked up to him, he stopped trying to like fucking be chill about it and would start killing them. We're normal gangsters, like so they would get either seriously injured or hurt. That's the whole point there. Toby versus Tom Holland's. Toby's Spider-Man is stronger than Tom Holland's. That's like shown directly in the movie. Granted, you could argue that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is still young, but the fact still remains is that Toby literally stopped a bloodlusted strike from him while being casual about it. Okay, I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 546. 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, something's wrong here. What's wrong here? Hang on a minute. There should only be 50 cards here. No. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, because I have. Yeah. Okay. No. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Four, 8, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. 36, 40, 44, 48. No, something's wrong here. I should only have 2 cards left over. Hang on a minute. Something's not right. No, I did my math. No, because I should have 12.5 cards in here. 4. Alright, so full play set. What the hell? Full play set. Full play set. That's 44. Yeah. 4 times 4 is 11. Yeah, so there's full playset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah. So, how many are left? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. No. My math was right. My math was right. No, it's because like fucking out of nowhere, it's like fucking immediately I started thinking like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. Just leaving up the cards. I will say they turned out a lot better than I was expecting. They're a lot less cluttered. Although these are just paper pictures, so not too crazy. But I was a little worried they're gonna look a little cluttered, but they don't have that issue. So, nice work there, Ewan. Your decisions on some of the card designs ended up being a lot better than I was expecting. They actually look like actual cards. So not bad on that one. I was a little worried the moon was going to be a little weird there on the side, but it doesn't actually take as much space as I thought it would. Okay, that is one deck completed. So now I have to take care of the extra deck. Yeah, no. It came out looking. Do I have any Digimon cards here to compare it to? No, I currently only have one piece to compare it to, but no, yeah. The actual cards ended up looking a lot more like trading cards than I was expecting. Although, actually, I can pull up a Digimon card for comparison's sake. Yeah, it's like an example. It's like just like a side-by-side comparison. Hold them like this. Yeah, so they actually a little worried about the clutter, but they seem fine. They actually ended up looking a lot. They ended up looking a lot cleaner than I was expecting. I was a little worried I had some of my choices made it a little bloated, but no, they're fine. Okay, the sleeves don't like being stacked that way. The sleeves don't like being stacked that way. Okay. Okay. There we go. Fuck, that is big. Actually, hang on a minute. Hang on. So, okay, so this is only an issue for now, but like I want you guys to see something because it's actually kind of funny. So, look at the size of those differences. The little pieces of paper really add up there. Yeah, so that's what it should look like. That's what it currently looks like because there are pieces of paper with another card behind them. So actually a little surprised they're on that cushion. I'm a little surprised myself, actually. I didn't think the paper was going to make that big of a difference. Brad Dusk, I'm going to need you to continue that prompt. I can't answer your questions just based off that. After I'm done sleeping them, I'll show you guys the artwork since you guys have been here the entire time. Well, most of you anyway. I don't have anywhere to put these though for the time being, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. As for the card text being readable, yeah, it's pretty clear cut and readable. Actually, you can't see it, I think, because of. Can you guys? For some reason, the camera won't focus on it, but no. The card text is actually pretty readable. Although. I'll push that one a little more down. No, yeah, it's like a regular trading card. Although the little embossing seems a little off, but I think that's just that's just gonna be like a personal choice. Alright, let's finish up the last of the decks, or the secondary deck, and then it should be golden for one deck. Then I gotta do this all again for a second deck. There's so much paper there. You're fine. You need some touch up. Yeah, no, I had to go. I went to just a local. I went to just a local Office Max. I don't have a printer at home, so I had to like go pay some money. But it was like less than $1 paper, so it was fine. I got some money from my family member like yesterday, so that covered that cost nicely. Yeah, the funniest thing, in all this time making this Tom deck, I actually forgot what the hell Tom's leader ability even supposed to do. Low key, this is smart because if you show it to anybody, they'd be like, yo, where you get these from? And you could just explain it, like, yo, I like to play a quick game, read a novel. That's kind of the idea, yeah. Although I think the game's going to be a better product than the novel currently. I do need to flesh that out more, hopefully with some of Kyle's feedback. That'll help out a little bit. Where would that leave Toph? Since Aang no longer has any urgency, when he ends up sinking Toph to be his operating teacher, would she remain sheltered for the rest of her life? What do you think she would do? I think she'd probably dip, honestly. I think at some point Toph would have just given up and gone on her own. Aang was just the excuse she needed. I think eventually she would have just left on her own. Or she would stay with her parents until she was an adult, and then she would have inevitably just like ran away or like lived her own life. I don't think she would have like necessarily gone crazy or anything.
Ay, justo porque no me queda la leche este
¿No, qué tal?
No, mira, ahí está abajo toda sentada ella.
Disculpa, no es mi culpa. Ah. Almost there. No, but anything? No, I think she figured it out eventually. Because the thing is, like, she figures it out of necessity, but I think she would just be bored one day and she'd just be, like, developing it. Although, there's a good chance it might not come about either, because it did come out of desperation. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I should have 4 copies of. I'll just pull them out. We'll just pull them out. Dude. Sorry about that, fellas. Yeah, no, the card printing turned out like the actual card art turned out spectacular in this size. So good job on that one, Ewan, if you're still here. Again, like, what was that? That was my house's alarm. My mom decided to go outside and open a door without turning it off first. Oof. I I did ask. Thought you was blowing the whistle. I looked away. Wow, is that what you see me as? No food for a week. Oh, son of a bitch. This is just this. I need 2 decks to play test with, so this is gonna suck ass. 'Cause I gotta do this for a second one. Pain. I might actually have to sit down for the second one. Actually, my leg is starting to get a little tired. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, ay, ay, ay. All right. How many cards left for this deck? So 4 more, but I don't have to cut these ones. These seem like fine enough as is. And then I'll give some like context for what the cards are and stuff of that nature. And I'll show you guys some of the art, but I think I'm going to sit down. Why not? Ah! Crap. In the meantime, I'll read the art deck over. Son of a gun. Need more sleeves. I'll talk a little about the design process behind the scenes, I think. Although it was mainly just me telling you to draw this. Oh. So I'm at least glad I could have made up. I'm at least glad I've sort of made up for Kyle's lack of a stream this week. Although I will have to make that up to him personally at some point, I'm sure. So yeah, no. The especially generic backgrounds you use too. Although I'm assuming those are fine. Gotta go talk to a lawyer later and be like, get rid of the backgrounds. As if it squats, baby, whoa, man, that felt good. You hear that, guys? Triple doesn't do drugs, guys. He's high on life. Oh, son of a bitch. Maybe I was a little overzealous in the trimming. Okay, so hang on, it's like this has to be trimmed. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, finally, I think this is the last card for this deck. Yes, it is. Sweet. Well, I'll just leave these two anyway since I have extra sleeves. I don't know what my ratios are going to be. Still have a bleach. Because technically, I commissioned. So, in order for the card game has 50 cards in the main deck. So, in order to fill out 50 cards, the bare minimum amount of cards you need is 12.5. So, I commissioned 13 cards. Because I only allow up to, well, it's only up to 4 cards per playstyle, because that's what 50 card decks usually do. So I ended up with 2 spare cards, at least for now, although I think these probably would be main decked. If we're being honest, I think the equip spell is probably better. Alright, so I'll show the cards artwork. I'll show you guys what the cards look like, just because you guys have been suffering through that. So that is the leader card for this deck. A little leader text right there. Nice little leader card there. Unfortunately, it's not a little in focus. There we go. You know, so again, this actually looks like card art, like fucking straight up compared to other cards. Although I actually do like these leader cards better than the One Piece ones, because the One Piece leader cards. Do I have a leader card to demonstrate? I think when you're not getting so I like commander format games a little bit more. More so I like building decks around specific leaders and stuff like that. However, let me see if I can't get an example of a leader card. Let me grab my One Piece deck. So, I'll talk a little about card game design and stuff of that nature. So, and as soon as I start talking, everyone leaves.
That's fine.
Yeah, so for an example being like, so that's what a leader card in One Piece looks like. That is Smoker. As you can see, you just have the character. I believe this is original art, but this might just be a screenshot. You doing a card game? Yes. So yeah, so that's so that's a screenshot. So like you compare a leader card like that to a leader card like this. That was pretty serious from the camera. So it's like this would be like more like an alt artwork in most card games, whereas this would be your standard leader card in most card games. Did you already plan out how it plays out? I have an idea, but I didn't have anything to play test. Now I have something to play test. They're pieces of paper. They're not the card stock. And that is the level up card for the leader. Play test with Kyle. He'd have to print it out, and I'd have to finalize rules first. Yeah, no, the cards came out looking spectacular, actually. They actually look like real playing cards. Granted, they, blew up the deck right now. Just take photos and give him JPEGs. No, I could do that. No, I can probably just share him the document. Like, I already have it formatted. He just has to print it out. And then, I mean, you could use a regular deck of playing cards. I think a regular deck of playing cards has 52 cards, and it's sweet. So you could just use that. Back into the C's candy bag you go. No, like I'm actually genuinely surprised at how good they came out in physical form. I was a little worried because I could see the physical cards like zoomed up. There is a few weird artwork proportions here and there, but nothing you wouldn't see in other original card art. Although you can tell a little bit when my budget starts to decrease, and I'll let you figure out when the budget started dropping a little bit. Yeah, no, because like for example, normal units look like that in One Piece for a lot of card games, whereas I asked Newman to go for like a full artwork like that. So I could have literally gone away with just half artworks. I just feel like that just wasn't really my kind of style. So that's what one of the cards looks like. My One Piece card. Yeah, so ironically enough, the cards actually look a little better in this game on average than they would for your normal card game because, like, again, like every card having a background like that, even a generic one, like, like that, probably looks better than just screenshot. And I don't even hate the screenshots themselves. I think screenshotting things is fine. I think reusing assets is fine. It's just that, like, the fact that it's not even a full screenshot, you just get the bottom text there. I don't have alt artwork, but I can demonstrate. So in a card game like One Piece, a full background artwork like that. What card is this? Okay, full like for example like that would be something that falls under that situation. It's more of your more rare cards, but like if you want like a full art back, why are there Digimon cards in here? Oh, like that for example is a secret rare card in One Piece. That is sort of like more or less where you get the full art and everything. Or you get like, super rares. Super rares also have alt art, like fucking Borsalino. The thing is that like not all cards have that sort of treatment. Oh, and then you got the Kuzan. All of these have fantastic alt arts as well. But like, yeah, no, you need like super rares and stuff to get that sort of like treatment half the time. Or you get lucky on occasion and you get like favorites like Kobe. That's usually not the standard though. I think it's the original artwork is what gets a full body, if I'm mistaken. Then you get some really cool ones like these. However, he's a little more stylistic in choice. For a time being, yeah. This one actually has a lot of good artwork actually across the board because it's mainly super rares. So this one's not a great example, but you just saw what the commons look like. Yeah, I don't run any fucking commons in this fucking deck. Fuck that noise. I looked at it briefly, but I haven't translated yet, so I'll have to like hold off judgment and talking about that until after I've translated it. There we go. Back into the case you go. And also, all right, next card. So for example, like I mentioned screenshotting a little bit. Like that card, for example, is reusing artwork, just not any artwork anyone has seen.
So that's why like there's not like a well, I mean it still works because it was just a pose by itself, so just putting a background next to it works fine. Although again, like but that's just like kind of standard fare for, card art and card games like these. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! I think is the one that doesn't do screenshots directly. I think every other card game does. Salt. Yeah, no, like so, nice little simple artwork at times. You can tell when the background started getting a little more basic that the budget started to go a little more down. Yeah, for example, like that one in particular. I just think it was like giving a generic background. You give that guy a generic background right now. Although I probably could have, what I should have done in hindsight, which the other decks will have, I think to some extent, is I think I'll just have Muhin draw one background that'll just be considered the generic background for that deck listing. Yeah, and stuff like that. That one was actually drawn on Sunday stream actually, where they were having to protect me, and this is like the very end of the budget where I was just like, just give me a generic looking futuristic gun. You don't have to make it detailed. Yeah, for example, this one, I actually like how this one turned out on card art. This looks great, but that's also a reused asset from a concept art I had Muhin draw a while back for a character. But like that's just like simple poses like that work really well for card art. Because again, like this turned out significantly better than I was expecting. Significantly. I was genuinely worried about like there being too much bloating there, because like when I look at it on the big screen, this moon stands out a lot more. This seems a little more prominent. This right here, the text box is fine, but like the regions and factions the characters belong to, a little more complicated to see. But like in the actual card text, in the actual card format, none of those problems exist, which I'm very surprised by as a whole. Like I was genuinely expecting it to be really bloated. Yeah, when like artwork like that turns out fine. Although, in fairness, if I actually had like a more proper way to set up deck cards, like a card like that would probably be a little more shiny in context. That's the boss monster. So like that would or one of them at least, that would definitely be like probably a super rare or shiny by regular card game rarity standards. Was Infel balanced this card game or not? You say that. And then like we have some interesting situations where this was basically a Solemn Muhin, because the character this was originally supposed to be, I assume Muhin remembered them. He did not, and this ended up happening. So sometimes we get little happy accidents like this where we just end up with some pretty random card design, but still very nice. A lot more dynamic. I think Muhin had a lot more fun with this one than some of the other poses. Thankfully, with all the card art done, if like these effects are trash or something, I can like go back and like retool it. Like the super expensive part and the hard part is gone at this point. Yeah, then we have a little bit of like what some spell cards look like, just some simple spells, stuff like that. Still, actually, again, still genuinely surprised how well this all came out looking for the card art. Because this straight up does look like fucking something you would buy in a pack and get. Granted, it'd be probably a lot more, not censored per se, but bricked off. Again, like this is kind of a starting example of what you would get in a card. So I could just gone away with stuff like that. But I decided against it. Seemed a little silly to do something like that, especially since like, I don't know. Even if I am able to get this card game off the ground, I doubt I'll ever do like a booster box setup. Then you got things like landmark. The icons here I think might be a little complicated. Although I guess it replaces the power, but I don't think the spell cards have anything like that. Yeah, spell cards don't have an icon, so maybe I might have to go. I might have to consider having spell cards having icons as well in their corner, because they do have different. Do they have different mana cost colors? They don't. Yeah, so spells as well as landmarks have the same mana cost color of green. Which, now I didn't think about this when we were making the cards per se. This is something I'm looking at now. But like, for clarity's sake, because I had to I'm taking a fucking crash course in game design for fucking card games to like look at professionals, what they did and what they didn't do, what works and what doesn't. And I think for clarity's sake, either I'll have to add an icon or I'll have to tell Newhin at some point to change the mana cost color on spells. I think green for landmarks is fine. I don't know if that works for spells. Granted, it could be the other, either or. Yeah. Well, maybe we could, so like, just nice clean artwork across the board. I think that's the last card. That is the last card of the main deck. Sword Helm icon for the equip cards. Yeah, because there's equips and there's spells. So yeah, I think at some point we're going to have to sit down and decide what to put for an icon for spells. And so here is the leader specific deck. That is, you would think that's not recycled artwork, but it is. Also recycled artwork from a comic for Tom I commissioned a while back. Same situation again. Recycled artwork. So actually, this one actually has some of the border thing I was talking about earlier, where I mentioned that there was a border underneath the cards. However, Newhin did this specifically because the actual original picture does not have a full thing to work with. Like, this one doesn't have a border on it, but that's because this picture was essentially these two. Is League of Legends dead? No, I'm just waiting. It's just that with other side of my novel, League of Legends is a massive time investment to play, and I've already hit gold. So there's no reason for me to play right now when I have other things to work on. So yeah, so that's another like the last extra deck card for Tom Banks. Also recycled artwork. Actually, that moon right there is actually, I think it's the same one. No. I think this one comes from a different panel. But yeah, no. So more recycled artwork. Although this one did have a complete background, so that's nice. And last thing this deck has are tokens, which is also recycled artwork, but it's not recycled from a comic. This one was recycled from her artwork. I think she was the top card. Yeah, she was. Yeah, so you might not have noticed it the first time, but there are two little spectral like digital clones beside her. That was recycled into this because of her effect. So that's more or less how this deck looks like. I haven't even bothered to try and print the other leader cards or anything yet. I just wanted to get this one done because now that I have a complete playset to work with, I can start looking into card effects, seeing how they play, how they work, seeing what works and what doesn't. Because the thing is, like, I've experienced enough card games to have a general idea of how something should be playing. Dude, I kind of tweak it, make it full. I was wondering around buildings around there, but I thought the moon. Did I tell Philomenes? Yeah, no, that works fine. Yeah, because I think there was I'm watching a GDC video by the creator of Magic, or at least one of the main creators, where he's like, just because something sounds interesting doesn't mean it's fun. Like, it doesn't mean, it's fun to play and stuff. So that's why you have to be really careful when I sit down and like start like testing this out. I have to make sure which one is your favorite so far. Of the cards Newhin drew? Well, okay. So, of the cards he's drawn for me, it's not here. Of the cards here, I think my favorite one would have to be So the problem is that a lot of this artwork is fine. Like, any issues with the artwork come from like my own decisions. But like, if I'm just gonna be honest here, my favorite like artwork in the deck isn't even one he drew. This one right here, I really enjoyed when he drew this one way back when. So this is probably my favorite one. If we're talking main deck, though, it'd probably be between, I want to say, these two right here. Although, I got roasted fucking hard by Kyle and Mangler for this one. They gave me a lot of shit for this one. Like, this one came out fantastic. I got roasted to high hell with this one. Mangler and Kyle roasted the fuck out of me for this one. Apparently it looks like the fucking main character of Full Metal Alchemist. And this one too also turned out great too. Although this one I had to sit Newhan down on and was like, Newhan, please, you took too much inspiration. You need to work it back a little bit. How much did I spend on the drawings? Ultimately for this deck, the bill I gave Newhan was $350. However, that is including a few other things. I didn't ask him how much the deck itself costed, but I'm assuming the deck itself probably costed somewhere in the range of like $280. Although that's also because this man made a lot more like handmade like drawings for backgrounds than I would have suggested. Because this was always going to be a costly endeavor. But I was kind of hoping to keep the cost of each deck within the, like, fucking 180 to 250 range. So it's like, I mean, like, I can, like, if I can handle it, but it's like, you know, I was kind of hoping to keep them a little budget. Yeah, those two do look good. And I won that Scythe as a weapon. Reminds you of the chick from Ruby. Oh, she doesn't have a Scythe, actually, if you're referring to this one. It's a little katana there, little sword. It just looks like a scythe because this one curves outwards, but it's just a sword. You can't quite tell on the stream, but that's just a sword. Simple, like, you know, katana situation. Although, yeah, that does look like a scythe now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, so now I just have to go through the entire deck again, clean it all up and everything, and then I'll have two decks ready to go for playtesting. So currently, what's Tom's effect even? I actually forgot what his effect was, or if he had another effect. Yeah, that's his only effect. Yeah, so unfortunately, some things were lost in translation when I was talking to Newhan about it, so I don't know if this deck's going to work as well as I originally planned. Although the difference is just card text issues. No problem, Triple. So it's not going to be too crazy. I still have to plan out a board space, though. Because Devil suggested a board space. I've toyed around with the idea of a board space, but I have to make sure I get like a decent board space to work with. Because board space is essential. It has to make sense. Has to be clear cut. Maybe, hopefully, not super bloated. But the problem. So a few issues I'm seeing on my end when I was designing these cards, ideally, is this deck in particular does draw inspiration from Digimon's effect of being able to play cards on top of each other. However, I don't know how. Well, I mean, I guess it could still work technically, because like, here, let me see if I can show you. Because like for example, this card right here has training, so this does not. So I'd have to grab a training card real quickly. So the idea would be here. Okay, so that one can work. I need another training. I need a lower tier training card. You do not have training. I also need to make a keyword soup. You do have training, actually. Perfect. So I think I can use her as an example. So Tom's effect is I think it's just active. Yeah, you don't have to pay a cost for Tom's effect. I'll move these over here for now, just to explain the concept here, because I think this might be a little bloated, but maybe not. No, I can make it work. I just have to set up the board space to where there's more. So yeah, so the way it would work is, for this deck in particular, I'd play her, activate her effect on play. However, she has training. The way training works is, in this card game currently, this wasn't the original effect in question, but this is how Newhan ended up translating it. I would say around Yano 240, but the extra cards add the price on PayPal is yes, and buy me. Well, I'll help you test it, see synergy included, hope it's not broken. Now it shouldn't be. So the thing is, one of the issues that occurred here is that what the original effect was not reduce the cost by 2. What the original effect was if a card has training on it,
and can be trained onto the field, it costs 2. Because Tom Banks' effect is the first active, you can play an allied card from your hand with the cost of 2 or less without paying its cost. So what the original effect was supposed to be, now this works fine for like your mid-tier card, like this one right here. I can activate Tom's effect, play this card for free, and I'll go from there. Now granted, there's no draw power like Digimon off that, although maybe we'll see for balancing purposes, because I think off the top of my head, the weakest decks I'm currently looking at for my first set of 4 is either going to be this one or the Rin deck I haven't developed yet. I am 100% convinced the Angel deck is the strongest one. It's pure board destruction. It's really silly in context. Rin deck? Rin is gaining a deck, yes. Let me see here. There's another card that should be played over. Let me see. Where is she? Here she is. 18 plus deck. No, that would be the Alexander one. Or the one afterwards, because I've already planned the next 4 decks. At least they're concepts, and that one will probably be 18 plus. Yeah, so like right here, this has yeah. So when a card is played or when you attack, you choose an ally unit in your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, so this one right here, you can train it over ultimate. I'm going to have to explain that ultimate training grants the effect. Oh, no. I see what Newhan did. Okay, I see what Newhan did. Yeah, so I'll have to explain that ultimate training also counts as training. But so things like under the current cost. And we cut out again. I think my phone's not used to streaming this long. So the original idea was you would be able to build up every turn at least once for free. But because of the way Newhan translated the card text currently, you cannot do that. Tom's ability is now strictly early game specific, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of card games, a lot of leader effects where the leader effect does not stay 100% viable throughout the entire game. That's why, in particular for this game, I do have level up conditions, which would ideally add something else to the card to make it a lot more, like pop out a little more, make it a little more consistent for the late game. Meant to boost up early game card leaders like this, but also for late game powerhouses like Death. I don't have the card for Death right now. Still probably, I feel like that card's going to be stupidly. I'm hoping the dice makes it tolerable, but like, I still feel like that card's very silly in context. But yeah, no, so like, there are level ups here and stuff of that nature. So that should help smooth things out significantly regarding like card abilities. Wait, Rin's deck 19 plus impossible. You know, Rin's you guys have such a bad impression of Rin, but it's also like one I can't really be too upset about because I understand why it's there. Yeah, because like for example for board space, because one thing I didn't consider is I might do what Digimon did a little bit because there is a mana system in this game, and in order to keep track of mana, you either have to use a board or I might make it to where there's just a card with a mana counter on it. Because that's what Digimon did. Although fuck the memory system, cancer. Yeah, so first before I start sleeving cards, I'm just going to trim them up. That might save me time. I have a few ideas of the rules that are working. Currently, it's designed for life decking, but I found out that life decking has been done before. So my current idea that I'm going to try and play test is to try and make a way for damage to just mill cards from your deck, so that way you don't have to keep track of it like through a time or like a counter or something. Although I could do a counter system, or I could do a shield system, which I think might be the better option. Counter systems aren't terrible, but they don't really offer you anything. Just like, damn it, I'm losing. Because you want to try and set up a feedback loop of players where you want to give a little bit of back and forth. You want your players to feel like they always have a chance, or they can bounce back depending on what they draw. You know. And that's what the shield system does really well. Gilgamesh would stomp out Leviathan DMC3. Scales to stronger characters, unfortunately.
So I am very pleased with how this all turned out. Granted, hopefully my card sleeves don't get damaged by having a little bit thicker cards, a little more thicker cards than usual, but it's fine. They're not expensive. Source. Nero could square up to Urizen by the time he shows up. He'd be stronger by default. So yeah, Neil, good job. You really outdid yourself with how the cards turned out. I'm not sure if you specifically set it up to where their sizes wouldn't be affected, or if that's just like by the nature of the cards, art itself. But yeah, nice work. You really outdid yourself here. Came out a lot clearer than I was expecting. So, I might ask Devil if on one of his days off, I might send him the cards to print out for feedback loop once I've finalized the deck. Because originally Devil's supposed to help me with card designing a little bit, but he's been too busy. So on one of his days off when we're talking, I'm gonna try and see if I can strangle him into testing out the card game a little bit. I guess if he has a printer, he can too. Oh, son of a gun. Because the thing is currently right now, make sure you patent the cards. No, these don't fall under patents. These fall under trademarks, and I don't have to do that in the United States. Technically, they're already trademarked the moment I create them. All that being said, I do have to sit down and start trademarking my stuff, so I'm going to spend a couple $100 to get stuff registered by the trade office. Hey everybody, if anybody need anything done dealing with our character, go Newman. Did what I can. The hard part is going to be designing the structure deck box. May God save us all. Well, Neil, let's take that one step at a time. Maybe I'll just sell the structure. Maybe I'll just sell it online without a structure box. Yeah, because as far as I know, currently the plans for the game are going to be a little more. So the current plans for the game, if it actually starts gaining a bit of an audience, but even for myself, because let's be honest, I'm mainly doing this for me, just so I can have a card game of my own. The main idea is going to be structure deck, variety set, structure decks. But variety set's not going to be a whole new set of cards. I'm going to create a deck, because I'm not made of fucking money, and you're one person, create a deck, and then what I'm going to do is the variety set's going to be introducing a leader that works with the deck with their own leader deck. Who's the audience? Yu-Gi-Oh players, Magic players, just casual card game fans. Ideally, the idea here is the card game will be so simple and relatively cheap to get into that just casual people who want to play card games will just pick it up. Hopefully the systems work well. The idea behind the leader decks is going to be that every deck is going to play differently within some variations of archetypes. I know for a fact every angel deck is going to have some variation of swarming, although death is a little more just card destruction in general. We need a team, man. So currently right now, and also I might have to tone back some raunchiness, but I might not, depending on how much I care at that point. For sure, I'm making this card game rated for adults only. Because I was already thinking that for the next set of cards, the next set of cards is going to be involving this short character reciting, talking about fairy tale to her children, the Shadow King from my book series, which Newman's already drawn, a stripper-based deck that works out board control, and will have girls pole dancing in some way, shape, or form, which that's going to happen just for shits and giggles, but I think that could be fun if I can pull off the right idea. And then the fourth one currently is going to be a rule-breaking deck based off Maximilian, the antagonist of the current book. That one's going to be a pain in the ass to work with. I think this one just going to be cut a little bit here. When is Newman getting his cut? So first I'm going to design the card game, see how that works. If the card game starts selling well, I will definitely be giving him cuts. But obviously, come on. I'd have to actually learn how to fucking advertise this shit. For the time being, I just want to make a card game that's not complete fucking dog shit. Because that shadow deck is sounding spicy. I'm gonna have it to be where like pole dancers. I'm gonna have like you think that's the deck I'd be excited about, but I'm more excited for the shadow one because I want to set it up to where it's like shadows like consume everything. So the way a deck's going to work is I've already planned out the main mechanic for a deck. The way the deck needs to work is going to be your opponent. You will summon shadows and you will either sacrifice them or they'll be destroyed. But instead of being destroyed, they'll go into your opponent's deck. And if your opponent draws them, they devour a card in your hand, and they go back to your opponent's deck, to your deck, reshuffled. Or I don't know, maybe I'll balance it out by some way. But so the idea is going to be is that as you continue to play the game, you'll get more and more shadows, and your deck in hand will slowly be like consumed until you're just stuck with shadows. Maybe I'll make it an all-win con where if like you only have shadows in your hand, you win. Does she need to create an office if it turns into a game? Maybe. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do booster boxes. I think booster boxes are a waste of money. I'm just gonna do variety sets and like maybe on occasion small sets of cards. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't like booster boxes. Are weird. I don't like booster boxes, but I know they sell really well. But I also know that's what makes card games expensive. Like I'd rather make a card. I'd rather make a card game that clear your home, you goofy. No, that's the workspace. That's the workspace right there. You guys don't need to see that. Yeah, no, because like for example, I have factions where like this card's faction is Talon World Order and Red Light Knights. So the stripper deck's gonna be Red Light Knights. So you know that'll be fun. I'm gonna base it off the way the 3 goddesses work for the Valkyrie deck, but I wonder if that'd be too much control based. I think the next structure deck might be a little more control based. Although it's like the idea is hopefully just different play styles that potentially lead to fun, but I have to first test it out, see how it goes, get feedback. But in order to do that, first I have to create a solid game loop, and I cut a little too deep into that card. That's okay. No, yeah, because like originally I was going to go with life decking, but I'll probably end up going with the shield system. But if I go into a shield system, I'm probably going to have more of these cards have damage triggers on them. Like this card right here is, when this card is summoned, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order you want. That's going to have to get a trigger effect if I make a shield system, because that can give players a chance to come back with the trigger effect. Because if you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and set them up in any order you want, that is absurdly good, especially for free. She costs 1, but she's on play. You can't do it once per turn, or you can do it more than once per turn. But I've already put into the deck a way to bounce her back into your hand, so that way you can just keep playing her to get consistent draws of what you want. Not quite a searcher, but effectively a searcher. Actually, she might be better than a searcher in this case. Because if you can continuously bounce her back, because you can bounce her back, I want to say a total of 4 times? Although, hang on a minute, what's your effect? Because depending on what that Katana chick's effect is, I think you can potentially... No, she copies clones, right? When played, create a copy of an ally unit in the field with the training keyword on the field. If your card has ultimate keyword, activates effect. Yeah, she only activates the effect of, No, actually, create a copy of an ally unit with the... No, it's a copy! Shit. That might be argued in favor of, like, that would proc the effect. Yeah. Yeah, because it's a copy and she's on summon. We'll see how it goes. No need to start preemptively balancing if it's not going to be like super busted. Although that would literally mean you don't... If the way I'm thinking is that how that card works, which keep in mind I'm making the fucking card game, the fact that I'm asking this question is not a good sign. But so the problem is that, like, that wording might not be like strict enough. So if that's how it works, then like she might actually be better than a searcher. Although she doesn't add to your hand on that turn, so it might be slightly worse. But like the difference is like fucking negligible. If you can control every draw you get, no. if you can control every draw you get consistently every turn, do you even really need a searcher at that point? Because there is draw power in this deck, so you could actually. Oh, well, look at that. Synergy already. Look at that. Didn't even think about that. I was just giving generic effects here. Look at that. Look at me go. That's not good. That's not fucking good. One of those, we'll just call that happy accident and move on from there. So yeah, no, I had this. So first, I have to establish key rulings there, and then go from there. Well, no, because I think she has training, so she can be bounced back. And Rookie gives you what's Rookie's effect? Is it Rookie's draw 1 on damage or draw 1 on leader? Hang on. Because Rookie's effect is also a little complicated now too, because it wasn't directly drawn or written incorrectly. Or no. It wasn't written incorrectly. I didn't write it like strictly because so for example, and this is important when you're designing a card game, which is something I didn't realize because I've been like doing a crash course on card game design. Would have been nice if someone else would give me feedback, but So like passive, if this card is summoned or if this card deals damage to the enemy leader, draw 1 card. So there's not damage in this game. So like theoretically, based on how that card reads, you can swing into the leader and draw 1. Now granted, if the leader is active, no, because rested cards also have the same effect too. Yeah, so basically, you play this card, draw 1, swing into leader the next turn. How long did it take you to make these cards? This version was after Newen told me my first set of cards were trash. So this version took me about like a week. I tell you fair, there are already plays I can think of on top of my head, which is a good sign. To be clear, there's a lot more cohesion there. I think I might leave the rule. I think I might leave the text the way it is. I think like depending on how it plays, it's fine. However, if not, I'm gonna have to change that card text to be a little more strict because I had to be consistent with it. I had to make sure that the rules for the card game will be easily understood. However, my rules have to be like airtight then at that point. Yeah, so the card project though for like the artwork and everything, I want to say took it took us like a month, maybe 2. If Newen's still here, he might have left already. I think it took like a month. Might have taken like 2 months actually. Oh, son of a gun. Tu hijo llega para atrás a las 8.
Tienes tiempo para comer y luego bañar.
Pero si no está bien, si me hacemos un buen sofá. The problem is that I think it took us a month total in record time since we had some work done already. Yeah. If Dante had killed a water-based demon, what kind of devil arm do you think it would be? I think it would have been a gun. I think it would have been like some sort of like fucking water gun, honestly. Well, he did. It's just that like he didn't get weapon from it in DMC 2. Yeah, no. Took about a month to get all the cards done. I've only designed 2 decks so far, like a harpoon. Yeah, maybe like a harpoon that leaves behind a trail of water to like trap enemies in. Yeah, because I haven't designed the Alexander deck yet, which I'm still struggling a little on. So we'll see what happens there. That came out clean. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn it. Thankfully, anyone I play test with is not going to have to go through this much trouble because they will just have 1 set of cards to work with. Assuming they print it and they don't just do some more ways to do it. This, on the other hand, is... Oh, boy.
There we go. Still very, very pleased with how this all turned out. Now I just gotta like play the actual card game at some like fucking a later junction to see how to make the rules work and the like. Because the first thing I have to determine is how winning works. I have to make sure I can determine that winning makes sense and doesn't feel unfun completely to the other player. And that's where the issue with life decking might come in, because the reason life decking has failed consistently, I think was I think the Magic guy said it, is he said that like players want to play their cards, which sounds stupid on paper. That like obviously you would assume players want to play their cards, but like I myself thought life decking could be a good idea, and a lot of other people have, but life decking has failed consistently throughout card game history. A lot of card games that have failed or only last 2 years have been because of life decking. Or partially because of life decking. There's a lot of issues with it, but life decking is one of those reasons. That's why the shield system's so popular, I think, because the shield system gives you cards into your hand versus life decking, which throws them to the graveyard. So I could do variations on life decking. I saw one guy comment that the Ben 10 card game, which I had no idea Ben 10 had a card game, but apparently the Ben 10 card game made life decking to where it added it to your hand. Oh man, fuck me, I am exhausted. Almost there. Take a nap then? Nope, I don't do naps. Ugh. What time is it? 6:36. We'll see. Because I'm just having chicken patties for dinner today. Take sleeping pills? I don't take sleeping pills. My brother comes back at 8 too, so... No, he doesn't. He's going to go watch Indiana Jones afterwards, so I actually have some extra time. Soon don't even sleep. Bruh, unfortunately. Whew. Still though, very pleased how all this turned out. Still a pain in the ass I gotta go through all this, but you know, hey. The card art turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Hopefully the effects make it to where the card game is playable. I think I'm going to borrow the Digimon cards when I'm playtesting this. Because the Digimon cards have mana counters on them, and I don't have any other way to count mana. There is a tribute system in this game, but Tom doesn't utilize it, so the first deck ironically doesn't take... Why would he see that movie? It is super obvious it's going to be shit. Bro, it's Indiana Jones. I was thinking about going too, but I don't feel like going out anymore today because I've been fucking awake all day, basically. Fuck! Yeah, and I don't drink caffeine or anything, so I'm already feeling a little drowsy. Tonight's going to be a good night's sleep. I think I'm going to tell Mingler no stream tomorrow because I'd rather get some good old sleep. There. Thing is, I don't have a deck box for these. I'm going to have to make use of one of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck boxes. You saw if I was using to print the cards? Yeah, I have the document. Yeah, so I have the paper document to print the cards. I can send that to people. Although I would have to tell you, you're gonna have to delete some of the cards because the document I used to print it has them doubled.
you're gonna have to go and delete several of the. So the way the document was is every page had 4 cards, but because I needed 2 sets of them, there are 2 sets of pages per card. So if I were to send this to somebody, I would tell them, you're probably only gonna play with me, so just delete a whole set of cards, and that should be fine. Because I'm not here to test. I'm not here to test mirror matches. Going forward, I'm not gonna print 2 sets of decks. This is only for the Tom deck because I need a mirror match to work with.
Ah, José.
No, it's okay, Thiago.
No, esto es bonito, me parece que no tengo nada.
Oh, I bit too hard into this one. Okay, so Chris can kill Demon Kings because, dude, he killed gods. Of course, he can kill Demon Kings. I mean, good for him that he's making the views. Good for him, but yeah, no, that's some really basic ass logic. You got it. I can bring that to my local chiropractor and print them so we can try it on Sunday, mate. I have to make the rules. I'd have to make the rules by then, so I have to spend some time Friday and Saturday making the rules then. Speaking of which, I need to get on Canvas. I think my college work needs to be touched up a little bit. I know I have something to do tomorrow, but like, I mean, I don't do anything tomorrow besides like maybe let Mangler stream. How many more cards? Almost done. Almost done. Yeah, I got these cards in color. Like, anyone I play with doesn't have to have them in color, technically. I was just like, I went through all this trouble, I'm going to get them in color. Sheesh. Still, you got this in. Almost done. Almost done. Then I just re-sleeve it. And then I can start testing out potential rules or testing out decks in general in the future. Although I am hungry. I am very hungry. I had a McDonald's breakfast. Almost 20 minutes ago. That was in reference to deck number 1. This is deck number 2. Big difference. Big difference. I'm gonna have to work on the region setup a little bit. I'm gonna have to try. I think in order to make it as fair as possible. You said you're gonna do deck 2 off stream. Yeah, but I'm still here just chatting, so might as well. Besides, I couldn't stream yesterday, so it's like, you know, makes up for a little bit. And I'm already here. Because the thing is, like, I feel like if I stop now, I'm just not gonna do it till tomorrow, anyways. Like, I might as well get this done now, so I can just chill out, and then I can just start playtesting rules. Because I also have to try and figure, because I have to try and balance. I'm trying to balance these cards a little early on, so I don't have to worry about it later. Like, I also do that because I haven't even started Rin's deck design at all. I've just been working on Alexander's, and I'm still trying to figure out how to balance multi-hit effectively. Because Alexander's multi-hit isn't locked to mana. I guess I could lock it to mana, and then, like, that would solve a lot of problems. Currently, we're balancing, but we'll see what happens. At that point, I'd have to have Newman change the card text, but we'll try and make it work with what's in the card text currently. Anyways, yeah, no. So, overall, cards turned out great. I gotta find somewhere to put them. Gotta start playtesting and making a board.
But yeah, overall, really solid day. I already took everything for my financial aid. I just gotta do that. Then I am golden. How many more cards I have to get through? Okay, we're okay. Yeah, no, hang on a minute. We only have 15 more cards to go. That's wonderful. That's not good. Oh, yikes. Should be a little careful with the water. That's the main reason I'm sleeving these two, is so not only they're easier to play with and not take damage, but like water is less likely to affect them. I should have another set of napkins over here. Let me clean that spot. There you are. Ugh. Yeah. Thankfully, though, I've learned my lesson today in particular. So I'm gonna try my with the next set of cards. I'm gonna make sure they're all perfectly lined up on the Google Doc. So that way I can just immediately fucking just have the person there be like, hey, can you just cut these into card shapes for me? Because the reason it took so long is because I don't have a device that can perfectly cut paper or quickly. So lesson learned was format properly. I don't have to do this shit later. Still though, very nice. Very nice they turned out art wise. Although, for now, this is the fastest way to get it done. However, I do plan on purchasing a game called Tabletop Simulator, which going forward, ideally that'll be the way I'll be testing out the card game because it'll save me the trouble of printing. And also would just be easier to send other people depending on it. However, if because like this cost me like $37 or not 37, this cost me $30 to do. Well, including the deck sleeves, it cost me like around $42. But with Tabletop Sim, I wouldn't have to worry about that. However, if that doesn't end up panning out, again, printing one deck of cards is like nowhere near as bad as like fucking two. Although, as long as it's cut up properly, that's still going to be like a godsend. Yeah, because I feel like depending on the text, like a lot of this text might end up changing going forward, depending on how that stuff goes. I mean, a banana. There's watermelon in the fridge. Allows. I'm actually not surprised. There's Tabletop Simulator. It's actually really good for playtesting cards if you or like games in general if you know what you're doing. A lot of people use it to playtest their board games and the like. Oof. It looks cool. I would have to learn it. Oof. Yeah, so hopefully I can make a fun, decent card game, and then I'll go from there. But that's gonna be the first essential thing. So until I get a decent feedback gameplay loop going, it's gonna have to wait because mirror matches are gonna occur in any card game, especially in a card game like mine. Since I'm not going to be fucking releasing like a massive fucking starter deck, so I have to check and see how mirror matches work to some extent. Although I don't feel like printing out multiple copies of the same deck. I mean, I might have to for myself just to test out the mirror match. Because unless I inject variety right away, well, I mean, granted, even if you inject variety into a card game right away, fucking thank you, triple. Fucking card games will always have fucking stale ass metas because people will always play what's the best. When the One Piece card game came out, everyone was just playing fucking Kaido and Zoro. Not like very rarely did you see other decks in play. Because people will still play with best regardless. So hopefully I can avoid that power creep a little bit, but I don't think I'll be able to. Have to wait and see how it goes. Good luck. Thank you, Alice. Thankfully, a lot of stuff isn't like super expensive nowadays. So like, even like back then, attempting this might have been like expensive. These days, not so much anymore. So always kind of nice that you can like actually experiment now without like fear of like bankrupting yourself. And thankfully, getting concept art for the characters means that at certain points I can reuse their assets. Very nice. Not expensive. What year do you think this is? Well, I mean, Red Dusk. Like, my dinner is gonna consist of 2 chicken patties and that's it. So, like, I don't really think it's all that expensive. Cause like, I don't eat all that much, so like, I don't really spend too much money on other things. And also, really, the shit that's gone up is the weirdest shit because it's mainly just food. Most of the other stuff hasn't gone up too crazily. Hello, BTS Army BTS. You're new here. Yeah, I'm probably pretty sure I got a bald spot somewhere up there. Hmm. A lot of new faces today. No. Freedom. Freedom is so close. I think I'll re-sleeve these off stream. I don't think I need to sleeve them on stream. You should get a turtle. Well, a turtle's easy to keep, take care of. Used to have some fish, but they died because of I think actually one of them got poisoned by like freaking pizza being thrown into its container, and the other one just like died over time. Nice fish. Alright, it's because we left them in the bathroom. Maybe they should have been somewhere else. That might have been the reason.
I don't know. There are plenty of reasons that those fish could have died. Thinking back on it now, but I don't know how long the average lifespan of fish is. They usually floated up. Granted, I only remember seeing the one that was poisoned by the peaks that died. I don't know how the other one died. Because I don't know if fish die of old age. I'm assuming they do. I think it depends on the buoyancy of the water. Ugh. Three more cards. Let's go. Oh, God. I guess I could show you guys what this actually looks like. I want to get it exactly as close to the measurements as possible. And that's it. These have all been trimmed. Okay. Look at that scalp kind of stuff. That is the pile of all the paper that I had to cut. Fuck! Ah! Ah! Son of a bitch. Alright. Alright. 2 hours later. Okay, yeah, so I can sleeve this off stream, no problem. You guys have already seen the card art and everything. What happened? No, I'm just like stretching out because I'm like I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. So like I'm really fucking tired right now. The fuck do you even do? Plays Carbonella with a training keyword reduce mana cost by 2. Did I put as passive? Cards with him. You know, this card block an opponent's attack. Yeah. Intimidate. Use with your below mana cannot block this card. Yeah, it's fine. I might make a life point system depending. Maybe a combination of shield and life point system. I don't know. I feel like there should be more player interaction for sure, but I'll have to sit down and design that when I'm a little more right in the head. I think I might have to change the numbers up a little bit. Just a little bit, like the values a little bit. I went for single digit numbers, but I know most card games go with thousands. So, good example of this. One Piece, 2,000, just to mean 2. I just cut the middleman, just put 1. I think the thousands is meant for to give people like a psychological kick in their head that it's really strong. Maybe. I don't know on that one. Still, I think 40%. Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen now after stream for me is I'm going to use my clear sleeves here, which I probably should have bought more colored sleeves, when being honest, but I thought it'd be a little fun to spice it up because I don't have a back for these cards yet at all. I'll have to design some sort of back cover for them later. Or who knows? Maybe I'll use that fucking one flag I designed a while back. Fits thematically with the rest of the actual card set. Maybe I'll make it different colors. At any rate, so what will happen now is I'll be ending the stream because my phone's close to dying. Or 40%, not close to dying, but you know. Take it off so that way it can charge up a little bit, let it rest. Then I'll sleeve this behind the scenes. Then I'll start cooking food too. And then what will happen is tonight, after I'm done working on editing, which I have to force myself to do an hour of editing. I'm sorry that the Airside video is taking so long. I could just give up fucking, nah, I'll commit to the bit. So, after like an hour of editing tonight, the Airside video, still working on that. It's almost done. Like I have almost all the scans needed. I just need to finish like once I get through that. Yeah, so a little weird. A little weird for that One Piece card game. A little weird, but it is what it is. That's something I did not consider. But I mean, it's on paper, so it's fine. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. Yeah. So is the editing on Kyle's level? I don't know. That'll be for you guys to decide. Yeah, no. So I'll take care of that, and I'll continue that work tonight. I will say there's more editing in the video than my normal stuff. I'll say it like that. There's actually going to be editing in this video. It's not going to be like the Mangler edit videos or stuff like that. It'll be like an actual properly edited video with sound, maybe some music in the background stuff. Like that will be there if that's what you're asking. Still. All right. Let me just move this. The Triple's still here, just so Triple can see. Hang on. And then buying this little thingamabobby to hold up the phone while I stream on my phone. Originally, I bought it specifically so I could play cards with Newhin, but I ended up realizing it was just easier to use the laptop for that. So that's what was holding the phone up the entire time. It cost me like $20. Actually, a really good deal. I actually gotta read this book because I got roasted for my color palettes for my characters. So I have to learn about the complete color harmony. I wonder if Newhin looks into this. It's like a selfie stick, I guess. Yeah, I mean you can hold it for a selfie. Yeah, that works. At any rate, yeah, so that's all she wrote for the stream. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and I'll leave the stream up for people who didn't see the early part of it, but there's not too much crazy stuff here. Hang on. I'll let you know for people who didn't see the early part of it. Yeah, so I'm just going to finish sleeving up those cards. I might do some playtest streams for this, just to see how it goes, and that way I can get, I don't know, the player. I don't read it for plebs. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, no. So once I get the rules formatted, I'm gonna try and do a few different rule sets. All I know is that what I know for certain is turn sequence is gonna be the same. That shouldn't be too crazy. I have no dice, but the angel deck probably won't be done for a while anyways, so that's fine. Yeah, no. I think that's about it for today's stream. I'll just rename. I was just leave it up and just go chill from there. So thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day.
I'll see if I join Kyle's stream later tonight. If not, I'll see you guys on next streamer video. Take care, everybody.